So, we are now live. Look at that. And we have all these wonderful people in here. Hi, how's it going, everybody?
Hi.
We're so happy.
Oh, jeez.
Matt is here, everybody. He got here now. His work released him.
Messing with your frame all the past few weeks.
Yeah.
Even
Oh, look.
Like, is that Matt?
Oh, look, it's Rowan.
Yeah, Rowan. You don't know? Matt's here.
Yeah, so he learned that you were going to be here, and he was like, I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I thought we got a serious delay on it for some reason right now.
Oh, yeah, it's a serious delay. Serious. Like, not even close.
Serious.
But thank you so
Alright,
much
there we
for
go.
the raid.
Yeah, for some reason it was stuck. Thank you so much, Manapop, for the raid. Welcome, Raiders, to Legendary Action Official. We're running really behind today. I had a lot of stuff to go over with my players because I'm doing a heavy like rework of all the different aspects and layers of how the world kind of functions.
The basic building blocks of how existence works.
The system. Yeah. So there was a lot to go over. I worked on it all week, so I wanted to make sure they knew that it was on the way.
And we were working on other projects such as some of you that maybe in the subscriber hall might have seen we've been working on Beyond the Stat Block and the formatting of that, and actually like getting to the point where we're recording some stuff and like seeing what doesn't suck. So we were working on that. So there was some changes that had to be made because we adjusted the cameras and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that had to be like completely undone. Which we're gonna have to write down. Yeah, which we have to write down. We kind of forgot about some of it. We're like, oh yeah, we put the cameras back. And we're like, wait, why does it look like trash? Yeah,
yeah, exactly. We had to redo it. Matt has inspiration.
That's a
jammer.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you all for being here and being so patient and waiting and hanging out. We really appreciate it. Aside from that, how's everybody doing? How's our community doing today? How's everything? Matt, what's it like to be back at the table?
This is so much better.
So much better.
Do you know what the best part about everything is? My ears are free.
Right? I can have my hair down.
I know.
Yeah.
No more headphones.
I can see you.
No more headphones.
There's no pixels. Nothing. Clear as day.
Yeah.
Real.
I am real.
I can react.
I'm
Instead
all
of just
real.
leaning back in my chair and staring forward. Yeah. Reading stuff.
Yeah. You know, I'm all real. I'm all real except for those like metal plates in my head and stuff like that. But aside from that,
just makes you a real cyborg.
That just makes you unique.
Really cool.
Cyborg.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's like, now that you're here, I can look at you. Every time I want to look at you, I keep looking at the computer being like, does Matt see me?
Or if he's getting like left out and stuff like that. Or worse, like I'm not hearing him for some reason, but you are. Yeah. Or your Discord drops out, so only these guys can hear him.
Yeah, exactly.
I can
crazy
look
stuff.
at you. And you like turn my head and see people. Instead of just my dog laying on the bed.
I'm glad you made it. Sorry we were late.
We got it though.
We'll do better.
Fine. Or we won't. Whatever.
We better do
Listen,
better.
Perfect segue.
This is who we are.
True.
This is Fudge.
Yeah, that's true.
Good.
And do you know where this fudge?
We talk about our sponsors then. Let's get right into it.
Wait.
Yeah.
Fudge? Where'd you get this fudge?
He's working on it.
I'm true. This delicious fudge is brought to you by Jammer One. That is Fudge Living Craig's Fudge Store. If you can't hear me, it's tough.
You can find a panel for him down below in our info, as well as I'm sure there's stuff. Yeah, there he goes in the chat.
I got you, Jam.
Boom.
We need to take this away because the fudge will disappear.
Yeah. It's like we don't get kickbacks. He's just an awesome member of our community. He makes a decent product, and we just want to give back, kind of thing. So he's been there for us. We're there for him.
Some coffee flavored goodness.
Yeah.
Made from real espresso. That's the fudge we have.
I don't know where the fudge went.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, do you know what? I need to bring fudge to work because he made a peanut butter fudge on top of gooey, delicious brownie. It is amazing.
Some people might just call it a peanut butter fudge brownie.
Yeah, some people might call it that.
Peanut butter brownie.
Don't take my over-exaggerating words away from me.
Overly descriptive.
Overly descripted. Exaggerate. So Are you saying that it's not as good as you made it sound?
It's delicious.
It's super good. Don't listen to
means
Mike.
it wouldn't be as good as you made it sound.
My English knows so good.
Anyway, thanks, Jammer. You're great. If
Yeah.
you want fudge, the link's down there. Also, you could do the exclamation fudge. Is that it?
No.
Yeah.
Now,
God damn, I'm good at this.
try it if you want. If you don't, oh well. You're missing out.
Yeah, you're definitely missing out.
More for us. All right, other sponsor.
Left field
Incarnate.
access to
They give you things to make maps. It's great.
Yeah.
You go on Incarnate, you make a map. It's real nice.
Yeah, it was real nice. It's so nice.
Damn it, dude.
They were real good.
They do great things. They just came out with a new pack for Viking stuff,
Yeah.
which is awesome because Vikings are baller.
Yeah, that's true.
I believe they're working on some sort of demo or future product for developing dungeons.
Yeah, that's a thing they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, is it true what I hear that their annual service of membership is only $25 for a whole year?
That is also true. This
Well, what if I want to just test it out for like 1 month, see if I like it?
You can do that. In fact, you should do that.
In fact, you should all do that. Every
Yeah.
one of you.
Having these two in this
It's-
together.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Brilliant.
free just to try it, right?
Yeah,
but
sure.
if I want access to all the pro tools, such as 1,600 HD art assets, being able to export my maps in 8K, regular art updates, and being able to upload my own custom images, and I have the rights to use it for commercial use. Not to mention being able to store up to 1,000 maps. Isn't that like $5 a month just to try all those advanced assets out?
That is exactly right. And you were upstaging my fucking moment.
But why would I do that when it's only $25 a
But it's
year?
okay because it's for Incarnate, not me, even though it should be.
But Matt, I've tried Photoshop and I'm terrible.
Too hard.
Yeah, I don't have any talent. I'm not good at these advanced tools.
Use Incarnate. It's easy. Easy painting tools and item drops. You can select things. Get out of here. Get out. This is my moment.
The camera didn't see it. That was a cat. A cat almost ruined that.
She wasn't on the screen. I did all that for nothing. Go to Incarnate.
Yeah.
We're done.
If you stick around for a break screen, you get to see a wonderful example of what you can accomplish with Incarnate with just probably maybe a few hours worth of work and just getting used to the tools. So stick around for that. They're pretty awesome. Now, what about our giveaways this month, Alex? How's that going?
Well, what does one say when all of your goals for the month are just blown out of the water? Like basically multiple months worth of goals just freaking destroyed.
I think we call that a
Fuck
grand
yeah.
slam.
Yeah, so I guess what that means
Pancake.
is, like, we've more than unlocked our bonus giveaway of Sly Flourishes, the Lazy Dungeon Master set of fantastic adventures. These are adventures that you can take with maps. They're even lined out in 5-foot space squares and whatnot, or you can scale it however you want. Let's be honest, you can make them 20-foot squares. Who cares? And they have very open-ended stories and adventures for your players that you can insert even into your own world. That just has a number of details and challenges for your players to overcome. It's not official Wizards of the Coast. It's better because it comes from an expert that's super, super passionate about the hobby.
Yes.
And then on top of that, I've been doing this thing where we give away for free with no dollar amount, just guaranteed every month because of legal reasons, an Artisan Guild set of miniatures. And this month they came out with a really cool set. It's the Oni Clan. This set comes with 11 models. You get 4 Oni grunts, 2 larger Oni, as well as 1 ogre magi that has like 2 heads and his staff and magic. And then on top of that, you also get an Oni clan leader. But get this, it's not just him on his base. We also have a mounted version of him that will also be coming with the set. You get both. So if he loses and comes back on his mount, or however you want to do it, you have that and it's available to you. It's this big like dog wolfy thing. Artisan Guild has their own set of lore, and they come up with their own names and attributes for all of these models,
which makes doing some of the legwork as a DM even easier.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
But so they all have their own unique names, lore, and how it works. The theme is these are ogres and orcs that have been infused with demonic energies, causing them to become Oni. And that's kind of how they stylized them. They're heavily stylized, highly detailed, and it also comes with an Oni beauty, which is basically they do a pinup every month. And I pretty much printed almost all of them. There's a couple weapons and stuff I still got to get done, but those are coming in hot at the end of the month.
Coming in hot.
And is there like a link or something that these people can click on to see them before you show them off? Like, are there pictures in our Discord of these models?
Oh, there's totally pictures in our Discord of these models. Just check there after the show, or at least 5 minutes from now, so I have an opportunity to post them.
I would like to point out that he was supposed to do this last Friday and did not.
We have a raid!
Zataris is raiding. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the channel, Raiders. This is Legendary Action Official, and we play Dungeons & Dragons 5e, and my fucking kick-ass homebrew setting of Terrowyn, which, I mean, I think it's kick-ass, and I could care less if you don't think it's kick-ass, because it is kick-ass. And yeah, we're just going through our opening spiel, giveaways and stuff. We have giveaways at the end of the month coming up. We have a bonus giveaway, Sly Flourish's Fantastic Adventures happening. And our giveaways are open to both followers and subs, because you know what? If you just watch us and hang out with us, you're just as valid as the people who sub as well, because it all grows the community and it's all goodness. And we love spending time with all of you anyways, because you're fucking awesome.
You guys really are.
So welcome to like the best fucking D&D channel on the internet.
If you go and you check our chat right now, there's a link to our Discord that now, I don't know how this happened, but there's a picture of like all these models. To be fair, you know, it's a render, so it might not look quite as good as the models might not look quite as good as those.
He doesn't mean that, and he should stop saying that.
He
doesn't mean that.
They're pretty great though. They're high. They're
Time out.
They're printed in high quality resin.
Can we get like a shock collar for his ankle? So when he rambles, we're just like,
we give it to you. You'll be happy.
All the quality.
So either way, let's drop a shout out.
With that giveaway, do you know what else they're getting? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Boss of all bosses.
No, it's fine. You want to talk over me? It's cool, man. Just say your spiel.
Yeah,
25% off coupon for that fudge we just talked about.
For the giveaway, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
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 The winners of the giveaway will get a coupon and a discount that comes with the giveaway.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You know, 25% off. That's like 75% away from being free.
2 pounds worth of fudge. This is
so good.
espresso fudge to keep our players ready and able for the table.
Alert.
Interesting question. If you buy 4 fudges and use a 25% coupon, does that make the 5th one free?
Of that much sugar and that much caffeine.
Buy 3, get 1 free.
Sugar and caffeine.
It's like Costco. Just order in bulk. Do yourself a favor.
It's good.
It's good.
It really is.
So, I think more or less takes care of our announcements. We don't have anything else that we need to discuss this month, do we? Or today, at least. Nothing else going on.
Today?
We have a guest joining us next Friday.
Yeah.
Her name is Tara. She's awesome. She's going to be joining us and be on. She's going to probably spend, I don't know, like 3 or 4 episodes with us. Been looking forward to having her on. Rowan will be rejoining us next week. I don't know if you've noticed, but Rowan isn't at the table right now because he's a slacker and doesn't get his stuff ready in time to join us on time. You know, so yeah, shots fired, Rowan.
You say yeah.
But he'll be back here next week with a brand new character, so that's all getting worked out. So you guys should get excited to see what he's playing. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's going to be interesting. And I honestly can't wait to hear his character voice because I think it's going to be fucking hilarious.
I'm
curious now.
I know you are.
I'm beyond.
That's the whole point. Everybody should be curious.
You've heightened my curiosity.
But there's going to be 2 new,
Is it Kermit?
it's going to be 2
'Cause if
new
you stop-
characters for the table. It's going to be a full table.
We're going to have 6 people again.
And everyone, just like all our other guests, make sure to be patient, welcoming, and friendly. You know, putting yourself out there to do stuff like this on the internet can be a difficult decision. So we know we have a great community, and we appreciate all the love and support you guys show. So make sure to bring that energy next week.
Yeah, bring that energy, bring the hype, bring the love. Let's do it. It's going to be great. She's awesome, and we look forward to having her on the show. Yeah, I think that basically covers everything we need to go over. Buy fucking fudge. It's good. All right, now let's go to our intro. We're going to run that, and we'll be back in about minute 40 seconds or so. So go get your snacks, your drinks, get ready, use the bathroom, because you're not going to want to get up. You're not going to want to miss a minute of this awesome Dungeons & Dragons role-playing and adventuring that we do. So get ready, everybody. It's time for Legendary Action once again.
Also, if you're new to the show, this opening was done by him. It's great.
Send it to Incarnate.
We do.
Did we go on the intro?
Hang on.
No
Oh,
intro.
no
We're
intro
still
yet.
here.
Hi, guys.
Hang on.
Which part? Because I was funny the whole
Click
time.
click the one on the
Oh, there.
right.
Listen, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm awesome.
Did which intro did you click? There's two on there, right?
Us are two.
I don't. There should only be one, but there might be two if it didn't update.
So we are.
Kobold Max.
still-
Kobold,
click the movie button.
Yeah, this is the new intro.
Is it there?
This is
Did it
us.
get saved or? It's like.
Is it destroyed?
You know what? I'm panicking. One moment.
Thank you for being a friend. Intro.
It was just all like-
wanna go.
Hide.
Oh, jeez.
Usually we have an intro video that plays, but our kobolds are just really terrible at making sure that the systems are
It's
running.
going!
Oh, there we go.
Hi, guys.
Hey, we're back. Hi, guys. We're not muted. We're still muted though.
There's the serious delay going on
You
here.
got us?
It's like
The
really
kobold's
bad
awesome.
right now.
It's super delayed.
Did Twitch, when they do their update, like maybe mess with settings and like delay or something?
I know. I have it on a low latency mode in our settings for our profile.
And OBS should only be 2 milliseconds.
Yeah. So I know Twitch is doing a lot, so it could just be on Twitch's end for that. Specifically for the delay, because that specifically is dependent on servers, ping, upload rates, all that kind of stuff. So
Hi, the Reaper.
we have much less control over that, as much as we would like to.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Well, if it is not the Reaper of Legendary Action, how are you on this fine day?
Everybody in the club.
Getting tipsy.
So last week
Hella bards.
you had a nice little run-in with the guards, and you guys had some exposition, and you talked about all the things that you had figured out up to this point. And you had a moment with Lumia where she kind of just dropped all of her baggage and was just like, hey, I was a terrible person, and these bad guys are coming for me, and I totally betrayed your guys' confidence and got you in trouble and got, team members killed because I'm a terrible person. And, it's all badness. But you made up with her, you forgave her, and then it was on to Ansem's to finally figure out if he had translated the infernal common script that was you had found in the hobgoblin's den, in that in that guild's
Like abandoned
den.
fortress type of.
Yeah, their abandoned fortress where they were stockpiling weapons and magical items and other things for themselves and maybe for sale. You're not really sure. But he did translate it, and it was partially translated, and it turned out to have been, for some reason, this creature or this person was writing the name over and over again, hundreds of times on all these papers, the name of Lord Manfred's firstborn son, Gawain. None of you recognized the name at first,
No, we didn't.
but once your good gnome friend, Sorcerer Patty, exclaimed that that's who it was, that's where we pick up. You guys are in Ansem's place. He had the paper, and Patty just got finished saying That's the name of Lord Manfred, Prince Gawain, Lord Manfred's firstborn son, who disappeared very recently, and they have no idea where he went. So,
Wasn't he involved with the cult of domination?
That I think that is what someone said. It was brought up in. It was also brought up in the party. If I do not mistake that.
Well, if he was writing down his name, if the key was writing down his name,
Could
it have been him?
Patty, was it? What did he look like?
how am I supposed to know? I don't know who he is. I've just heard his name. Not like I've ever met the man before. He's a prince. Have you met a prince?
Yes,
No,
I
that's
have.
what I thought. You haven't met shit. Stand there and be dumb, Brick. So, what do we do?
It seems like Lord Manfred's son is in immediate danger. Either he's involved in this, or he's been taken captive, or he's a target. It's obvious that he plays some sort of key role. He could very well even be the key, depending if that really was him. It seems like the only thing to do is go above the city guard and just go straight to Manfred. Either that or the Circle of Mirrors, but I don't think we're going to be given any leeway to inspect or to search for any kind of clue, given what just happened.
We will need the Lord on our side, and if his son is in danger, this gives us quite a bit of leverage.
That would be the thing to do. Go tell the Lord.
But would he be in danger? From what it's sounding like, he might be involved in this whole demonic chaos.
Bork, bork.
Both will make Manfred act, most likely in our favor.
I just feel like going to Lord Manfred might be risky. Shouldn't we go to Lord Vermilion? He doesn't like Lord Manfred. Maybe he might know something of his son.
Manfred will be able to... maybe Vermilion, but Manfred will want to either rescue his son from danger or pull his son out of some conspiracy that would sully his name.
Maybe it will give us more power if he tells us to go do it.
Well, I guess the only other thing to do is, if we had any other kind of evidence and look into the Circle of Mirrors, maybe we could find something to bring him.
We'll never just walk in to the circle. If the conspiracy wants us to just out, or it's dangerous, they'll either hide or kill us.
Or maybe they think we're on the run and won't expect us to go into the Circle of Mirrors.
And we don't know how much of the circle is part of it.
That's true, but that may work on our side.
So Ansem speaks up, and he's... Why is the a cult of dragon worshippers involved with the Circle of Mirrors, and why is that the connection that needs to be made or ascertained?
That much is still unclear.
We know that
There's no best guesses?
they're manipulating the city. The cult of domination is obviously manipulating the city guard, and that's why they were causing trouble for us. They were following us. There's a Circle of Mirrors.
Maybe the cult is trying to create a problem only they can solve?
This is not the first time me and Locke have seen the cult of domination grab power in a city, in a place. When me and Locke were in Amareth, they did the same thing. They made their religion the country's religion. They wormed themselves into everyone's hearts, and they became the one religion.
Yes, but Emrath fought a civil war for control of the Senate and the Emperor's seat. It's not quite the same thing as what it seems like the cult of domination is doing here.
I don't know. It seemed very convenient that they were at the ready to put out the city when it caught on fire because of demonic influence, or devilish influence, I should say.
I agree. I think they're trying to create a problem only they can solve. Sweep in, win some hearts and minds.
That, or it is a coincidence. Maybe it really is just they were nearby, and the demons are completely different than what is going on now.
But it'd be an odd coincidence. That gray dragonborn seemed to be showing off a little bit too much. It could be anything. At this point, we don't know.
Whether they're involved or not, we have to stop the Circle of Mirrors from bringing more devils and demons into the city.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
What about the advisor, the magical advisor to the Lord? Has he returned?
I don't know, but he's at odds with Kuvira from what I understand.
Exactly.
Which helps our case. We should probably go to Manfred first.
Go to Manfred. Ansem, do you know of his advisor?
I mean, I know of him, but I've never met him. It's far above my station. You don't just go and ask somebody, hey, can I meet your wizard advisor? It would be ridiculous. I'd be laughed at and tossed out on the street.
Well, if we're going to go to Manfred, it's more about what really are we going to tell him? We were supposed to find some kind of proof. The city guard hasn't really made that easy for us. And then on top of that, there's the Circle of Mirrors. It seems like if we're going to find some evidence, some real evidence that we can present him aside from conjecture and theories, all of that lies within the Circle of Mirrors. And I'm convinced that we know they're responsible for this. It's more about how we're going to go about getting the evidence.
So I look at Patty.
Well, we have the journalings from the key.
What we could do is we go in, because Patty already had the way in. Let Lumi do what she does. We write a letter to Manfred. Give him what we have. If we die on the way in, we die. At least he has a shot.
Look, who's going to get this letter to Manfred?
I shift over and look at Ansem.
Vermilion.
But isn't Vermilion in bad terms with Lord Manfred?
We made Vermilion...
He's still a lord who can get into the court easily.
Yeah, we just made him...
Fair.
They're not necessarily on the best of terms, but part of that's also because of how we conducted ourselves. We got a favor from him, and then Locke and the outburst didn't really help our case. But the letter isn't necessarily the worst idea, because I don't really see it playing well with us trying to demand an audience and bringing such little to bear.
Then go in.
Then we go into the Circle of Mirrors. I'll go in.
Alone?
Can you keep up?
I can't clink around through their halls.
You two are too big and obvious to be caught. You would make a lot of noise.
I have you know I followed you when you did not know it. I can be stealthy. I did it all the time when we were hunting displacer beasts in my homeland. I still think you'd be better alone.
We definitely do have big targets on our backs. Lumi might actually be able, if she disguised herself a little bit, might be able to get close. And we all know how good she is with a lock.
What about... you were saying something to Patty?
Well, I was going to inquire Patty a little bit more about what she would like me to do. About your friend? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Out of character. I don't remember.
Out of character. She has a friend that can help us get past the magic of the circle that we were supposed to go get.
Yeah, that may be locked up, and we may be able to get
Gotcha.
Lord Manfred.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other friend that was in...
No.
Way past episodes.
Yeah, that friend. I didn't know the friend.
Is like, oh, which friend?
Have him by said. Go
So
ahead and
Patty,
ask.
how soon can you get this friend?
I'm going to go with never, because he's in a heavily guarded dungeon underneath the castle.
We would need Lord Manfred to let him out.
Or Lord Vermilion.
No.
Lord Vermilion doesn't have the kind of authority to force the garrison to release a prisoner. Especially not one who was caught breaking into the royal vault.
Okay.
Ooh, that makes it
So that
even
makes it
harder.
more clear.
Ask.
The first place we have to go is to try and get an audience with Manfred.
Or we have the cat steal another man out of prison.
Getting into the prison is a lot easier than getting out with an extra body.
Not to mention we have big targets on our backs. Like, look where we are. As I look around to the cave that we're in.
You're not in the cave. You're in.
Oh, we're not at the cave. As I look around, as we're outside of the city at Ansom's, I forgot. I'm stressed out.
I think it's pretty nice here.
Yeah, there's comfy lounging chairs and there's a fire going and it's nice.
I'm just saying we're hiding out. We're still hiding out to a certain extent. Getting back into the city to begin with might even be a challenge of its own.
But hiding from who, though?
We're hiding from guards and militia.
No,
And the
all of
faceless.
them?
no, we're hiding from the cult of domination. Some of them are guards.
That apparently have some influence with the guards and militia, and we really don't know.
We only saw
How many?
one guard captain for sure.
And
Is
troops.
Yes, and probably some of his troops, but he might just be using his authority to move them around. They don't know what they're doing.
It's more than likely that if they even have if they have control of influence or at least one guard captain of a garrison, then sure that he may be able to command them to do things. But we're not talking about the Lord Commander of the city after you, correct?
As far as I know, no.
You're not wanted. Nobody's been out directly looking for you or shouting your names through the streets. I saw no signs of any postage or armed guards wandering. It may be just a small...
I think our bounty is very specific and not sanctioned.
Then let us go back into the city and go to Lord Manfred and ask him to release somebody who tried to steal from him.
We'll bring all the notes with his son's name written all over them. I'm sure it'll inspire something.
Is there any? The only other thing I can consider is they seem to be very stuck up about procedures and courtly processes. So, how exactly are we going to request this meeting? Just stand outside and say we have news about your son?
Well, weren't you working underneath his direct command anyways?
We were to investigate and find the proof. We'll tell him we have it.
Did he not tell you to report to him when you found something?
He did.
That he did.
He did.
You
I just didn't
overthink
know if there was a point
Bloodhunter.
of contact or something.
You overthink Blood Hunter. It's extraordinarily obvious that you just seem to struggle with civilization for some reason. I'm starting to suspect you haven't been doing your job for very long. And she kind of eyes you and turns away.
Seems like he's been betrayed.
If you can get him released, he can help you get past any of the circle's defenses and magical locks. That's what Weston did for a living.
Then we need to go to the Lord. I think it's clear.
Then to the Lord we come. Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Brittle and myself will make our way to the circle and observe it from the outside. What the rest of you do is up to you. Get him out and he can get you in. Whatever evidence that you're looking for, you should find it. And you should do it quickly. Things are spiraling out of control. So Ansem goes over, he goes, "One moment." And he goes over to this case, like this locked, dresser, pulls a key out, unlocks it, opens it, and then he pulls out this really strange looking key-like device. And he brings it over to you, Lumi, and he hands it to you. And he says, "This is a skeleton key. It only works once, but it will unlock anything once. This is exceptionally rare. Once you use it, the magic will be gone. Use it wisely." And he gives it to you.
I take it. Thank you, Anselm.
It seems like you're all going to need all of the help that you can get.
Does that include magical? Sorry, hearing your voice totally fucked me up there. Does that include magical locks?
Of course it does. It's a skeleton key.
I don't know what that is.
Only one layer, though.
They have not. All right.
One lock.
One.
Well then. There anything else, or anybody need to do any final things before we venture off to Manfred? Any final?
Frankly, I don't want to take any leisure time within the city.
I meant along the lines of final words to their family if they die. I don't want someone to die like Gal did and have nothing left. And we do not even know if he has family. So, does anyone want notes or things sent to family if they die? Now is the time.
Well, I imagine you don't really even...
He's my only family.
I don't have family left.
That's quite the exceptional amount of forethought coming from a fucking Goliath.
I just
That's
had
what I
somebody
thought.
die.
What's that, Lumi?
I said that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, but what about you? We know you're going to have family
Yes, I do.
possibly in the city.
Yes, if you recall, I do have a brother and sister that is around and that might be in danger.
Are you going to... Like what he said?
No,
What about your folks back home?
I have not talked to them in a long time.
So,
Well, there is something to be said for you may never talk to them again.
That I understand.
why aren't we a bunch of, what is the word? Orphans.
I don't think that technically qualifies for me.
He's right.
I wasn't really born.
Oh, yes.
Well, fine then. No last words, no mushy, gushy crap. Let's just go then.
Good. Let us go to our deaths.
Not to our deaths,
We're
to
not gonna
victory.
You
I do
might.
not plan on dying yet.
I get your stuff when you go, right?
I'm pretty sure Gal wasn't planning on dying that night, so it's not really something you plan for. It's just something that kind of happens.
That is why you go into every battle planning for death.
I plan for victory myself, personally.
I still win. I just die
don't-
after.
Yeah, it's best not to consider death as an option. Then if it happens, you don't have to worry about it anyway.
Well,
So, to the keep?
to the keep.
To the keep!
Okay.
Mhm.
So you do the best you can to maintain a low profile and moving through the streets, but for the most part, you can't help but end up agreeing with Patty. Whoever it is that's looking for you is either there's no wanted posters, there's no notices, the town criers aren't looking for you, and there doesn't seem to be, aside from the night that you left, the garrison seems to have been stood down. So whatever it is, the influence seems localized specifically, and it may mean that the conspiracy isn't as large or is at least as influential as you might think. You don't have any trouble passing the inner gates to the upper district and walking through the streets. And upon arrival at the gate, you simply state that you're there on behalf of Manfred, and you're told that he's been expecting a report from you, and you're allowed in. Once again, though, at the front, passing through the front courtyard to the keep, at the door, you are greeted by a servant who explains to you that Lord Manfred is in his personal courtyard, more or less, with his royal guard, and so he takes you there, leading you through the smooth stone floors and the high ceilings filled with art and windows to let in light. You are finally taken out to this kind of high balcony on the edge of this large garden courtyard space with a fountain that overlooks the ocean and the Shatterkeel Bay, which, when you look very carefully, you can see Westguard miles away on the opposite side of Shatterkeel Bay. And as you kind of look out, you smell the fresh air and the seawater and see the birds flying in the sky, the seagulls landing on the edges. There seem to be about there's 10 people out there playing what looks like a game of croquet, and just having a good time. Scanning, you see at least 15 royal guard in their shined and burnished plate armor with the heraldry and their weapons at their sides. You see Lord Manfred, who is under like this tent in his like a personal throne. He's just kind of sitting there watching all the festivities take place. And then you hear the distinct ringing of the bells that sound them opening the portcullis gate that allows ships in and out of the harbor in front of the city. And then you can kind of faintly make out the grinding sound of the metal as that massive, ginormous, bridge-sized gate is either closing or retracting. But the servant kind of just gives you a gentle bow. Lord Manfred is expecting you.
Okay, I approached with a level of modesty with my companions, and slowly approach and wait to be addressed.
So you're up front then?
Yeah, I'm up front.
So you walk up front then, and you're in front of him, and the rest of you are just kind of at a okay.
Yeah, I stand at a distance and just say nothing.
Yeah, so you're just imposing over there. Kind of looking as you approach his throne, you can see that he has like a table next to him. It's filled with fruit, and you pick up all the different scents. There's very rare like pomegranates and dragon fruit from the isles from the continent of Chulesh, and some of the most exquisite and expensive fruit that you could ever imagine to have are right there. Grapes and luxuries for the most part, and you pick up the specific scent of elven blood wine from deep within the orchards of Yvalari. So he sees you there, and kind of dismisses a couple of just servants that are meandering and just nearby to take care of whatever he needs. Well, come forward. Let's discuss what it is that you found for me.
Now, unfortunately, on such a beautiful day, it's really a tragedy to bring you not the best of news. I guess we should probably start off with the most pressing of matters, that being, it seems that what's going on, your son is playing a role, is involved somehow. So we found these scribblings.
As he's saying that, I reach into my satchel, pull out a bundle of papers and journals, and put them on the table next to the fruit.
Yeah. Locke, if you could present them. And then we had a expert translate the sections of text that were an infernal, and it seems that these are documents that we got when we found the human cursed to be fiendish in nature that was being transmogrified underneath the city.
I tap the pile. The top few pages are the translations.
So he's hearing what you're saying, and there is a certain amount of concern that you can read on his face. But he reaches over, grabs the paper, pulls it up, and starts looking through it. And then he calls over a servant, and he hands him the paper. And whoever this servant is kind of takes a small magnifying glass and starts like eyeing the text, and then hands it back to Lord Manfred and says, it does appear to match the royal inscription of your son, Lord Manfred.
That's handwriting, right? That's how you say it. That's a fancy way of saying handwriting.
Yep.
That matches his handwriting.
Matches
his handwriting.
Way to blow his description out of the water. Also, while we're
I
off
was
the
just
subject of
making
being
sure I
broken,
understood.
Yeah.
while we're like broken up, shout out to BubbaBot123 for the 10 gifted subs he just dropped.
Thank you so much for the gifted subs. You're an amazing individual, and we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You're a freaking legend.
He did request.
Enjoy the show. What's the request?
He did request that the
this.
first battle music would be Black Eyed Peas.
You know what? if it wasn't copyright infringement to play it, we probably would.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, what we might give you is a really odd rendition with offbeat music done by Alex.
What we will do is we can maybe do a little practice thing, and then the next time battle starts, we can all together sing "Let's Get It Started."
We're not doing that.
We're gonna do it because he gave us 10 gifted subs, you rude bastard. You're gonna do it. You'll like it.
You'll do it, or the things in the store get cheaper.
Okay, Dad.
Either way, thank you so much. We'll figure out something, and we can, take care of that for you.
I'm just curious what song. Which
We'll get it started in here. That's battle music.
Oh.
We're getting started. Ha!
That's all you're gonna get is ha.
Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
See, offbeat.
We don't even need to practice. He just did it for you. There you go. I just need to do it before battle starts. When battle starts, now you just need to do it there.
Yeah, I gotta Google the lyrics.
That's fine. We got it. Where was I? I lost track of my
inscription.
The inscription.
Sorry.
I'm
now
sorry.
I forget what I was about to say.
It matches the royal inscription.
So at this, Lord Manfred stands up and he starts walking down to you. He holding the paper in his hand, he kind of just grasps it. My son disappeared a month ago, and I had no idea where he went or why, and I assumed he was swept up in some cult or something.
Yeah, we had
And
heard
is gone.
rumors that he was involved with the cult of domination or something.
I'd heard the same things myself, and I didn't believe them at first, but
We don't have strong...
maybe he was.
We don't have strong evidence to tie them to this, but the cult of domination is involved with what's happening at the circle. No doubt.
Another thing, unfortunately, if that is your son's handwriting, that means that infernal creatures have... when we found him under the city, they abducted that man from our encounter. We weren't able to we didn't even really fully know what was going on, but we weren't able to stop them. We were under siege from devilish forces. They were able to penetrate the material plane, bring reinforcements.
And easily.
They referred to him as the Key, which they then took him. So he's under their control. They have him under their control, or they have him with them. We also had another warlock that seemed to be involved with some sort of fiendish patron that was telling us that the Circle of Mirrors has been influenced, if not possessed, by devilish forces or fiendish forces.
Again,
They're
we don't have
higher
strong
ranks.
physical evidence, but the connections are there.
It seems far too much to be coincidental.
Possessions at the highest levels of the circle. And devils and demons crossing into the material plane effortlessly. Powerful but not particularly high-ranking devils capable of summoning is odd.
So we're fairly certain about it being tied to the Circle of Mirrors. And the cult of domination may have something to do with it. It was awfully convenient they happened to be right outside after we were attacked to put out the fires that started as a result of demonic portals.
I received reports of the Black Cat Tavern catching fire and it being put out by somebody, but the report wasn't specific in exactly who was responsible for saving the city from a raging fire breaking out. And you're saying it's the cult of domination that was responsible.
Yeah, the fire was started by devilish creatures coming through a portal. It was the portal, the flames from the portal that started the fire to begin with.
So, turns his back to you, kind of walks up towards his throne or his chair, and he grabs his one of his wine goblets. As he does, you can see that his hand is physically shaking. Either from pure anger or maybe fear. Either way. So he turns. So what you're telling me is that the Circle of Mirrors is summoning devils at some level and is connected to the Cult of Domination and their arrival in the city. To what end, you have no idea.
Not yet.
What or why. But on top of that, you discovered that somebody has done something to my son and made him into a freak of nature.
Your
And
son,
that you also failed to bring him back to me.
your son was a victim of a curse. We had no idea who this man was when we went to track him down. And then, of course, the interference from devilish creatures. It seems like the next step is marching straight on the Circle of Mirrors itself. But yes, that's what we're saying. When devils perish on the material plane, much of the remnants of whatever they were just dissolves over time. So finding any evidence was a challenge in and of itself.
So he kind of just snaps at you. I know how fiends work. Don't speak to me like I'm not an educated man. I know that they're not supposed to be here. I know this is an issue. Based on all the circumstantial evidence that's been coming to light, including your testimony here and now, this is of great concern to the safety of my realm. I cannot march troops onto the Circle of Mirrors. It would be terrible for the city. So I'm hereby ordering you to find a way to stop them.
There is one thing you can do to help us with this,
Name it, and I shall make it so.
Weston. You have someone that might be able to assist us in going to the Circle of Mirrors.
Why do you have need of a common thief locked up for life in my dungeons?
From what we understand, he's anything but common.
Apparently, rumor has it, his reputation has it, that he has a knack for getting past locks as well as magical barriers, which is probably going to be the most difficult thing to overcome in regards to penetrating whatever veils the Circle of Mirror tries to hold before us. They're going to try and hide whatever evidence. Obviously, they're going to try and hide whatever evidence might tie them back to this. So he has a very particular skill set that would be invaluable.
Captain Calden. The guard comes up immediately and just kind of stops. Lowers his head in respect. Order the release of this man. What was his name?
Weston.
Order the release of Weston. You know who it is. He says, yes, my lord, and leaves. You watch him as he leaves the courtyard, goes out the back, up the top steps where you came in, that leads down into the courtyard through the door, and you just lose sight of him there. Find my son. Save him. Failure to do that will result in execution. Am I understood?
Yes, Lord.
We'll do
Yes,
everything in our power.
If you succeed, you will be graciously awarded by the realm. I'll see to it personally.
I do have some other requests.
So
Anything
do
you
I.
can share about Kavira? If you know of her, any of her capabilities, have witnessed or heard testimony, anything would help.
I've never seen her at work. I've never seen her magic or what she's capable of.
It's unfortunate.
I don't appoint those who sit at the top of circles, nor is it the same in any other place outside of the Elven homeland and the White Tower of Sorcery there.
And your magical advisor is still away?
He has yet to arrive in the city again yet. Yes.
Have you heard from him lately?
No.
If they're trying to tie up loose ends, you should try and find him, I would suspect.
Lintheus can protect himself. That I can give first-hand testimony on. The man is a gifted magician. It would take much effort on their part to silence such a man, especially one who travels underneath the protection of 100 men.
Yes, you're probably right.
Very well.
Unfortunate timing that he's not here to help us.
As a last resort, I can order the city garrisons to siege the circle, but it is in fact a last resort.
Destroy your reputation with all the circles.
It would destroy the city more than likely, and I would lose hundreds, if not thousands, of men dislodging the wizards from their homes.
That while that would be troubling, it's good that you're willing to take it to that level, given the circumstances of the devilish encroachment on the material plane. That we beyond the challenges of finding your son, that's just something we cannot allow to happen. As I look to the group.
I don't.
If this is in some way leading to some sort of fiendish invasion of the material plane over my realm, it's most disturbing. That is what the circle is there for, to protect us from these things. My armies aren't capable of fighting fiends from another plane of existence. I have not the funds and the ability to give them such weapons to deal with a threat of that magnitude. It would be devastating, and thousands of people would lose their lives. Which is why I must rely on you to make sure that that doesn't happen, or if it does, that somebody stops it.
Yes.
Someone took great care to make sure that the Circle of Mirrors was taken out of play in whatever this ploy is.
That's very true. Well, failure isn't an option. So, I guess that's that.
Wizard. You
Yes.
know your way around magic, correct?
I like to think so.
Your kind isn't trained the same way that, let's say, Lintheus would be. But you could recognize helpful magical items and such for yourself.
Of course.
He calls over another guard. Guard! Take them to Lintheus' magic workshop and see if they can find anything that would be helpful to them in this endeavor.
Wicked stuff. I give him a low bow. Most gracious. Thank you, my lord.
Find evidence, bring it back to me, if not my son directly.
Yes, sir.
You are dismissed. And so then he just kind of shouts at everybody, just like, telling them basically to fuck off. And everybody kind of leaves and meanders away. They drop their croquet mallets and stuff, and the royal guard starts ushering everybody towards the other exits and doors. At which point, one of the servants comes up, the one that directed you here, and he starts. You pick up the last bit of words about him trying to summon the council of nobles.
Mm. And we follow the servant, and as we start to follow and lock steps forward, I lean over and I put my hand on his shoulder. Good job back there.
Yeah, so there's kind of this well-kept individual with slick back hair. He's dressed just like the rest of the servants in the palace are. Got like frilly collars and stuff, and they all wear like kind of the same royal pattern and colors of like purple and goldish and stuff. And he just follow me right this way, please.
I lean back to you. I think if I was fleshy, I'd be sweating.
Yeah, well, that went about as well as we could expect.
We did not get executed. I call that the win. Now we just need to make sure we either die or we get his son.
Get your head out of this death nonsense. We're gonna win.
I'm just saying, on the off chance.
You're always obsessed with it. Glory to death.
That is true.
Well, hopefully whatever lays...
How about glory in life? . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . |
You could go to Chulesh. There's many creatures. I can see you having fun slaying goblins.
Is there dragons?
Oh, no, there's like large beasts. I can't remember the name at the moment. It has a bit of a strange name, but there's Yanti out there. There's dinosaurs out there.
Meanwhile, there's a trove of magical opportunity to help us accomplish the mission.
Oh, we're going.
Let's go.
To a magical workshop we go.
So, he leads you back down several halls and corridors, past a multitude of different guards, and then to a large secure door that looks like it's magically enchanted. One of the guards standing up front, who is wearing the same heraldry, but it looks like he's dressed differently in order to maybe possibly distinguish him. As you get the idea that these guards are probably hand-selected either by Lintheus themselves or by Lord Manfred to protect specifically the magical workshop.
Mm-hmm.
But they eventually open up the doors, which requires a key and what sounds like the chanting of some sort of spell or password. Upon opening, it's just a hallway, and it goes down to and splits off at the other end. But walking down there, you walk past like 2 alchemical laboratories, what looks like some sort of tinkerer's workshop, and there's multitudes of individuals, apprentices or alchemists, maybe apprentice wizards and stuff working in these various rooms. And then finally, he leads you at the end, take a left, and he's like, and this is Lintheus's personal workshop where Lord Manfred was directed that you should be able to find your way from here.
Yes, thank you for kindly guiding us.
So he just steps aside and just stands there at the corner.
Very well, Locke. You know this stuff better than I.
I do. I walk in and I start going through his shit. So I suppose if we're looking for things for a heist and to protect ourselves, so,
Maybe the shit explodes.
probably not anything as strong as a skeleton key, but maybe a chime of opening, health potions, obviously, any kind of... Honestly, I'd be scouring over any kind of alchemy potion stuff.
Same weapons.
I mean, we're pretty decked out as far as weapons go, I think. And he's a wizard. He probably doesn't care about martial.
Like oozes in jars that we can throw at enemies.
Black pudding in a jar.
Yeah, put him in a jar.
That'd be fucked up, dude.
A portable gelatinous cube.
Also fucked up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my god, you're just...
Because of the silica structures within the gelatinous cube, you're able to actually compress them down to a much smaller size.
We call him Frank.
It'd be like the little...
Go get him, Frank! Boom.
Just a little jar that has a label on it. Frank.
We feed him so he allows himself to be compressed because it's easier for us to throw him at people.
Little
And a
things.
smoking bottle.
Like if he has a jewelry box.
A jewelry box.
The trick is, the item is actually the box itself with the ballerina that charms everyone that hears it. It's not actually the jewelry inside.
Fair enough.
Oh, thanks for the raid dice, priority. How you guys doing?
Welcome to the channel.
Yeah, so I'm going over it carefully. I don't feel like we have the time to identify everything because it takes 10 minutes per item.
To the raiders, just to let you guys know, we're about to embark on breaking into a giant magical tower, and in doing so, the lord of the area has given us access to his wizard's personal tinkering area, which our own wizard is now scanning.
So instead of using identified for every item, I'm looking for magic items specifically by like picking them up and shocking them. Because if they're magical, they won't get damaged. And like if they're just mundane, they'll probably
gonna ruin all his.
They'll probably get scorched a little bit. I'm not like.
What do you mean? So what do you? So normally picking up an object is enough to realize that there's something special.
Oh,
about it,
well, then,
because
yeah, that's all I do.
Tell it's magical.
Or just
And
detect
likewise, normally just popping open the cap and taking a swig of a potion is enough to
guess
tell you
that's
what
true.
it is without.
Just detect magic. Go to the
taking-
biggest magic sources.
Yeah,
know.
I mean, like,
So-
I imagine detect magic in this room would be like, I'd just be a haze of
It would just
Be
be a
like,
haze of
ding, ding,
bright
ding, ding,
colors and just everything imaginable, more than likely.
Yeah. Also, scrolls. Holy cow, I bet he's got a whole shelf of scrolls.
We're gonna leave, and he's gonna come back. Where did my shop go? And you're just patting your box.
Manfred will pay him. I'm sure we're not going to get much of a reward out of
He
this.
didn't say don't not take this.
yeah.
He said, "Here's Magic Workshop. Enjoy."
Makes me think of like every mechanic I know or have known, and how precious their tools are and all that kind of stuff. It's like we're going into his private shop. He's completely unawares, and all his babies that he's been working on for possibly decades are here.
So,
All right, so you swing open the door, and the room, there are just copious amounts of strange, unique, or weird objects in the room, aside from some very obvious devices. You can recognize runes for protections and sealing on the floors, the walls, and everywhere else. There seems to be like a large, strange contraption that's connects to the roof via chains, and looks like there's like an opening or a spot in the roof where it like retracts in so that you can see the sky.
Neat.
There's tons and tons of nopes. There's solid bars of gold, silver, base elements like trapped in strange
Ingots.
vases, fire, lightning, and bottle. You see a very large mechanical device of some sort with a like kind of a crystal in the center of it that seems to like be giving off a faint, strange magical aura that you almost feel like is like some sort of localized anti-magic field inside of it. There's just shelves filled with potions and tomes and scattered pen quills and just everywhere on the floors, as well as tons of smithing tools specified. And you see very expensive mithril and adamantine workshop tools kind of just scattered about the rooms, and high quality blown glass orbs. And interesting of all, there seems to be a really large self-floating like glass orb filled with liquid that seems to be boiling on the inside. There's no support touching it whatsoever, and it's not connected to anything. But it's kind of just hovering there in the front of the room when you first come in, like about 15 feet off the ground, just sitting there. It's probably looks like it holds about like maybe 100 and something, 200 ounces worth of liquid on the inside, just boiling and popping. But there's, you just can just let loose. Helpful things that you find is that you find a potion of fire breath.
A second one.
Well, no, it's not a second one, because the potion of fire breath is very different from the potion of dragon breath.
You're right.
They're two different things. The dragon breath is bottled ancient dragon breath weapon.
It's
Real
badass.
completely different.
You start with the fire breath, and then if that doesn't work, dragon breath.
They're like, oh, he's gonna do that. Oh my god.
Potion of fire breath.
He has an especially well-stocked herbalism section with a greenhouse attached to it, in which you find 3 potions of greater healing, as well as 2 potions of lesser healing, and a potion of superior healing. A superior potion of healing.
Can I take 2 of those graters?
It was just one superior.
one superior and
One superior
2
potion of
regular.
superior healing. Yes.
One lesser?
2 regular
lesser.
potions.
2
of
lesser.
healing. Yeah, 2 regular potions of healing.
2 regular.
It was 3 greater potions.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 3 good. That's why I asked for 2.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Pretty much.
You do recognize a great deal of especially rare artifacts, but every single one of them is locked behind a magically enchanted case or lock of some sort, which you can see these items, which among them is like a decanter of endless water and what looks like some sort of ancient relic. you can't necessarily read the inscription, but it looks like celestial. You have no idea what this sword is, but it radiates an especially great amount of power from it.
A sword, huh?
A potion of growth is another thing that you pull off.
Potion.
Another one of the items that are locked behind these magically enchanted cases is you recognize a figurine of wondrous power.
Which one?
Golden lions.
Fuck!
Golden lion.
All these good things.
I want the sword. But I'm obsessed. So
He's like all these ones you can't necessarily touch. Look, wouldn't you like to have stuff like this? Ooh.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to use my own knowledge. I know it's a figurine. I know it's the golden lion, but Locke is like, fuck, I don't remember what that does. I read about that so long ago.
Anything else? Wonders.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different stabs and wands and stuff. Most of anything that's of direct value that would be worth who knows what is locked behind these glass cases.
So we
Protected by magic.
We just gather up all the potions, obviously.
Yeah.
But after we do that, I turn to the group.
Then you see his scribing station, and you see there's this wall of just endless amounts of spare scribe notes and different spells that he has made and written down. So
It'd be very rude for me to take those.
So you find a spell scroll for divination.
Divination. Scroll.
So much.
Everything is always assumed to be at its base level, by the way.
Right.
Okay. There is a spell scroll for arcane lock.
Oh yeah.
Take that one.
Oh, we're taking everything that's loose.
Yeah. There's a spell scroll for. Whoops, that disappeared. Oh.
It disappeared. Push.
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
I
as you go
touch
to
it.
grab it, you're like,
Oh, that must have been really good.
Do you have any castings of Dispel Magic that we could use on this?
I'd be afraid to dispel a scroll. He might destroy it.
No, on the nice stuff.
you have there's a spell scroll of polymorph.
Oh, I want to be a T-Rex.
You're not high enough level, friend.
Damn it!
Wait, we are 8 now.
Yeah, we're 8. We can be
we're 8.
T-Rex. That's why I asked.
Fucking, I've never seen one.
No, you don't want to be. You don't want to be a T-Rex.
I've
dude.
seen one.
She's seen one, but she can't cast.
You want to be greedy.
I will draw figurines of
They're just awesome.
Stat wise?
They're just awesome.
What is?
Grade 8?
Oh yeah, the giant ape is baller.
Yeah, like
Are you King Kong?
comparable.
Yes,
Yes,
King Kong giant ape.
It's comparable
It's
to the Tyrannosaurus.
Why don't you be a big griffin?
We have an awesome mini we can
Because you have to be a
Arts
beast,
and
you
Guild
can't be a monster.
to take that spot too, as well as
I would wanna-
dinosaur.
Oh
Make me-
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do have some awesome minis for that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hide that polymorph until the mini is printed.
Well, let's
Next
continue
up.
with this buffet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're just
So
going down the
much
line,
Ah,
filling our plates.
Did someone bring it?
buffet? Fuck.
Do you know while he's doing
That's
magic items and we're talking about fudge, I'm gonna go grab my fudge.
Where is this?
So after we gather everything like that's loose and kind of, I mean, everything here is super valuable, but I turn to the display cases that are locked with the really good shit, and I look to the group and I say, these
I forgot to save something when I was writing it down, so now I have to find it again.
Oh, no.
these items are the culmination of his life's work, and despite having permission, taking more than we should will get us an enemy, more than likely.
Locke, do
You
I have to
find-
impress upon you that we have devils encroaching on the material plane?
You find a ring of resistance
Ooh.
to poison damage.
Ring of poison resistance.
What else? Really? All these good stuff.
I understand that the world is at stake, or this city is at stake, really. Oh, jeez, you are a bad person.
You're a bad person.
At the lowest, the city's at stake. We don't necessarily know how far this goes, and
Oh my god, it's so sticky.
That's the peanut butter brownie fudge that Matt is eating, by the way, everyone.
I can't.
the
Just keep
devils
talking.
themselves have their own agenda, which means not just killing people, but consuming their souls.
And then we would
Keep talking.
Um,
It's so sticky.
well,
That's what she said.
Why don't we? We'll take them now, and then we
She's
return.
never said that.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Where is it?
What?
if you
Anyway.
are,
Thank you, Jammer.
if you are all concerned, why don't we just go back up and confront Manfred himself? Can we appease ourselves with all this?
No, I would not go back and talk
Yeah.
to Manfred right now.
I would consider that I'm rattling these things off to you. These are things you find, but necessarily aren't putting into your pockets. So consider that.
Mhm.
Okay?
Yeah, pretty much everything I've put in my pocket so far.
Yeah. But my point is on what you're saying is to illustrate that, like, if you guys have assumed that you've grabbed every one of these things off the shelf, you should consider what Locke is saying. Because it's one thing for Lord Manfred to reimburse him, it's another thing for Lintheus to take it personally and come fucking kill you. And take it back.
That's why I said specifically the things in locked cases we're not grabbing. Yet. Maybe one.
I cannot
You know,
find
this-
that.
This ancient divine relic, we'll give him like 2 of his health potions back.
All right. So I addressed the groups again. I'm like, I understand that the stakes are high, but there's always a retreat. And the world has been in danger before, and that's what the circles are for. The stakes aren't as high as they seem from the outside, I promise you. But Lantheus could be more enemy than we want, especially since we have so many already. Hopefully, no more sneak up on us. But
Here it is.
I know you want the sword. I know you do. And of all the things in here, he'd probably would be least sad to see the sword go, since it has probably very little practical use for himself.
So, are you Locke? I want to make sure that I'm hearing you correctly. But the first time, you are telling us not to grab the items.
I'm saying that grabbing all of the items would be a massive mistake, even if they help us.
I will trust your judgment.
So are you guys, quick question, are you all kind of just following Locke around as he tells you what these things are and you're kind of just deciding amongst yourselves, or are you guys all kind of spreading out, looking at these things and figuring them out?
I'm specifically looking at the orb that looks like it has liquid inside it. Just
Boiling
looking.
liquid? Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Just
So you guys are all doing this and Lumi's just standing there just like,
Weird.
I
looking
guess
at this
I
thing floating
I've
up
been
the
looking
road.
around for any armor or weapons or anything along those lines.
Okay.
Anything I think would be useful in combat.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
That's what would be on
I'm
my
more
mind.
following behind Locke as he explains all this stuff to
Okay.
us.
I trust Locke. He'll tell me what to grab and what not to grab.
The one thing I did key in on was the crystalline thing inside the mechanical structure that seems to have some sort of anti-magic quality to it.
Yeah.
Given that we are going to a circle of wizards, wouldn't it be beneficial if we could figure out what this is?
It would, but he seems to have encoded the notes on this, and I suppose I could take the time to identify it properly, but I don't know what it does. It might be more hurtful than helpful, in my case at least. I'm not so good at stabbing.
Well, it does look rather experimental.
And then I put my hand up to it, and I feel the anti-magic. I'm like, it's a small field as well. We'd have to... I don't even know how much use it would really be.
A small field can be a lot when you're in a tower full of wizards.
Okay, so we can spare a few minutes. So I tap the gem around my neck and my spell book kind of appears, and it looks holographic and all like a pretty much Iron Manning out right now, and I find that the identify ritual, and I begin to identify, and I use it on the orb in the machinery, and see if it helps at all.
Trying to just figure out what it is, like specifically.
Yeah, what its properties are, what it does specifically, what spells are enchanted upon it, if it has any.
Like its function.
Yeah, I mean, the identify spell. I could read that to you, and that would make it a little.
No, it's fine. I'm just it seems to be some sort of, just looking at it before casting identify, since you're like looking at it,
right.
You can see some very unique and interesting runic markings. Like kind of, this device is almost like it has like 6 almost like spider-like legs that kind of come up to it, and it's about 20 feet tall in the center of the room.
Neat.
And it's like a circular. There's only like a disc with a hollowed out circle in the middle underneath. So that's where you can see this crystal kind of radiating that energy from the middle of that. Aside from that, there's like this almost machine-like device attached to the top of it, in which that disc extends out from, that seems to be some sort of strange, almost like you would think it was probably something made by tinker gnomes. It has an otherworldly quality attached to it. And after a few moments, you kind of recognize it as one of what you assume are 10 known existing devices from the extraordinarily powerful wizard Qualish. And if you're correct in your assumptions, it is basically a mobile anti-magic field that permeates huge distences if turned on.
Oh, that probably is.
But as a whole, it seems to be unstable and the subject of study at the moment, based on the notes and the workspace around
Seems
the device.
damaged.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I didn't realize it was like that big. I was like, "Ooh, anti-magic grenade or something."
It's huge. No, it's okay. So it's like a whole. It's like kind of like an engine on an engine block, just hanging up with the legs dangling, sort of thing.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I suspect this could be whoever this wizard is. He's unbelievably accomplished. There's only supposed to be 6 of these machines out in the material plane, but it seems damaged from what little of the notes that aren't encrypted.
Well, it definitely grabbed my attention.
It would be an amazing fallback plan if our plan fails, if it was working. What it does is it creates a field of anti-magic in gigantic areas. Truly a terrifying weapon to a wizard.
Possibly miles, from what you've read about.
It could cover possibly the entire city, make it a magic-free area.
Maybe it's something like this that allows them to block, magic from being used in certain sections of this.
Well, some of the ancient civilizations were able to cover cities in domes of protection similar to this. But those magics are lost and probably impossible to cast anyhow in these.
Well, using that seems like a fool's errand then. Luckily, you're here to help put stuff into context.
So while you guys are having this conversation, everybody's been going through things. Starting with Matt, choose a number with 1 to 4 and go around the table.
Ooh.
Oh no, that made me panic all of a sudden.
1 to 4, you say?
My belly
We will
dropped.
leave it to the chance.
I have to pick a number.
3.
Okay.
I'm leaving it to a chance too.
I'm gonna pick a number 4.
4.
Ah, that's what you get for leaving it to chance.
1.
We only get to pick. I have to pick 1 or 2 now.
Yes.
Right? Okay, then 2.
Okay. All right. So 4. So
I don't know if that's a good thing.
While he's describing this to you, and you're kind of looking at this object, and at the end he starts to kind of mumble on, and you see something that catches your eye on the desk. It's just sitting there, and it looks mundane enough that you pick it up and kind of take a look at it.
Oh no, the cursed item.
When you flip it, though, you hear a strange voice ask you if you wish it to fulfill its duty. It's almost like a disembodied voice that just, do you wish to fulfill my duty, master?
And I'm just rambling about this
As
device.
as you realize,
Chat, what do you think?
it is a card
Oh no! Oh!
that has the symbol, what looks like a key and lock on the top of it, but the card has no writing.
The key is... I have no idea what this is. This is great. I'm glad all the people that know.
Oh,
I don't
I have
know.
no idea.
I
What do
don't
you
know.
think, chat?
I
Should I?
genuinely don't know what this is.
Matt says...
I suspect.
Yeah, chat, fulfill it? Fulfill it? What do you think? Absolutely no reason not to. Chrono keys. All right.
And then Wolf is like, do it.
Everyone's gonna say
not
do
yet.
it.
Go for it, Jammer. All right.
Everyone's gonna
Chrono
say,
keys, do it.
Do it.
Chrono keys, we already got you.
They're a
Anybody
bunch of
else that
nihilists
wants?
because they don't care about you.
The Muse Bison says sentient items are always a good thing, right? That sounds dangerous.
Sentient items
That sounds
are
like a
always
dangerous.
cursed.
Almost always.
What's the worst that could happen?
It's dungeon and you're gone forever.
I say yes.
And as I'm rambling, you say that, and I go, huh?
Yeah, you
Yes.
look over and you see him holding this card, and immediately you recognize it as a card from the deck of many things.
I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it does.
If I had fleshy eyes that could go super wide, they just did.
they got brighter. Whoa!
So,
As the effect
as
goes,
the
I'm like,
effect
put
takes
that
place,
down.
there is a whirling blast of magical energy that takes over the room. All the books start. The structure of the castle begins to shake as reality itself is being reshaped by the magic and the wish being granted by this card. It begins to coalesce, and you start to feel an entity prying into your mind, digging into your mind and finding some sort of information. Suddenly the card flutters and disappears, and in your hand, out of magical coalescing particles, you feel the strength of powerful magical steel begin to form in your hand. As a weapon begins to form.
Yeah.
In your hand, at the base, is a fiendish head, skull on the pommel of the weapon, as an almost scalish-like texture that makes up the hilt of this weapon begins to grow out of your hand, dark and crimson, breaking out into almost demonic-like wings to make up the guard, itself having strong and sturdy, but no weight, as this begins to carve out into both infernal and lengthen to the size of a long sword, as you now possess a sword of demon slaying.
What? Yes! Yes! Woo! Demon Slayer Air 5!
The
Oh wait,
magic,
social distancing.
the
Wi-Fi.
magic of the card,
It's Wi-Fi.
reading your mind and finding out what it is that you need most at this moment in your life.
That is very astute. Sword of demon. Sword.
I jump over to him and I slap the sword out of his hand. Don't touch that.
So,
What did you do?
Oh no.
it is a +1 weapon to attack and damage rolls.
+1.
When you hit a fiend with this weapon, it takes an additional 3d6 damage of the weapon's type.
Nice.
For the purpose of this weapon, demon refers to any fiend or creature of the fiendish type, more or less.
So devils.
Yes.
Do you know what that was?
The card?
The card.
No, just
Of
looked
all the
interesting.
things that are locked away, I can't believe he left that lying on his desk.
What card?
Well, obviously it was special. It gave me this weapon.
All right, so I look.
This freaking badass weapon.
I pick up the weapon, and I want to identify it.
Okay.
And after I do, I realize it's not sentient. It's just a really good sword.
No, you're jumping to conclusions there.
Well, that's fair, but I mean, I identified it.
You're jumping to conclusions there.
That's true.
Does the demon head on the hilt talk?
That would be neat.
Ooh.
His name's Bob.
That's perfectly fair. I did just jump ahead a bit. I identify it. Is there anything other than those stats you already gave?
So,
Oh
Oh
gosh,
no.
there is.
The curse kicks in when you identify it.
there,
That could happen.
on the surface, it seems as though it appears to be made of mithril and forged somewhere with powerful magical entity. Upon the identification spell, you do realize that this is no ordinary just weapon of slaying made for the purpose of dealing with fiends. This weapon itself has a history. Its name is Balrog, and it once belonged to a powerful angel
Love it.
who fought into the very abyss itself, killing demon after demon after demon, until being completely absorbed in darkness and thought to be lost forever. But the sword, for some reason, found its way back into the celestial hands, where it was once again lost to time somewhere on the material plane.
So this was a sword
Work, work.
crafted by celestials, corrupted by demon slaying, and then
Mm-hmm.
refound.
Yes.
Fucking awesome.
It once was lost, but now is found.
It is, in fact, said to be tainted in some fashion, and that only individuals of strong will of mind are capable of handling this weapon.
Of course, that's me.
This weapon, though, has hidden powers, supposedly, waiting to be discovered and unlocked over time.
So, I finish the identify, and my
Can I have it
my
back
eyes
now?
my eyes do get brighter because they don't get wider, and I hand it back up to you.
This is exactly what we need.
It's amazing. He's gonna be so mad that card is gone, but I mean, it's perfect.
It's one of life's happy little accidents, I
You're
suppose.
so lucky that card didn't just disintegrate you, or who knows what else it
What?
could have done.
Would it have done that?
Some of them do. I mean, I didn't even know if it was real. It's just like, even the deck of many things is like a myth almost.
The deck of many things? I've heard stories about that.
It can shape and change reality, which it technically just did.
Well, hell, maybe there's some more cards laying around. Isn't there a rest of the deck?
Let's not
As I
tempt. No.
through the desk, I'm like, where's the other cards?
That's well. You got lucky. Let's not tempt fate.
Remember what Locke said, we shouldn't take too much. And I've heard stories of the deck of many things. That's something, it's like finding a golden cookie in a cookie jar. It's very special.
It's like finding.
A
Yeah,
gol-
you know what? That makes sense. Fine. A golden cookie.
A golden cookie in a cookie jar. Have you not heard the tales of that? It's very...
The golden cookie?
Well,
No.
clearly, fate wants us. We'll unlock one of the boxes.
So you know, finding a card is especially rare. You can either find them as single pieces or sometimes partial decks or full decks. There are multiple versions of the deck of many things in circulation. Nobody really knows who made the first one or why they were made, and some of them are slightly more chaotic than others, with terrible, terrible curses and afflictions waiting them. That one card might have been a part of a full deck at some point or made individually, there's really no way of knowing.
It's unlikely there's more cards here. They're incredibly rare. But fine, look. We should unlock one more box, take what's inside, and that should be it.
Are you sure? You seem to make a big case, and obviously
I'm sure
used
that
some sort of powerful relic.
I'm sure that as long as we return the next item we take, it will be okay.
Well, perhaps that should be something we consider. Maybe, like, I know some magical items, they only have like 1 or 2 uses. Maybe we take the one that has something that doesn't run out. That way it doesn't get mad, because if we return it, it's still just as good as when we took it.
Along that train of thought, and along the lines that he's most likely not a warrior, we should inspect that sword.
But here's the thing, it's in the magical case.
It is. And I can... Let me double check. That might have been associated with my staff. Which is now...
Double checking special abilities on the character sheet.
Oh, yep.
Alex, look
That
at
spell was in
remix.
my old staff, which got destroyed, so I can't do that spell.
Oh no. Destroyed.
I go over to the display case with the sword inside of it.
Mhm.
And just want to inspect the lock, see if it's magical in any way, or if it's just a really good...
It's definitely magical.
All right.
But you cannot imagine, for any reason in the world, that a wizard like him would only leave its protections up to a lock.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything else that you were interested in looking at?
What about this? As I point to the liquid orb.
The bubbly ball.
How big is it? It was like kind of like basketball size.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit bigger than that, more or less. It's just floating up in there, like 20 feet in the air. Just
Very
boil. It seems to
curious
just be
about this.
permanently boiling, like liquid water. Who knows? It's liquid. It's kind of clear,
Transparent.
Yeah.
This is very interesting.
We will get to that. I identify the display case with the sword.
Like the display case.
Yeah. Well, I mean the lock on it.
I mean, it's arcane lock.
Just arcane lock on it.
Didn't we get a spell scroll?
We did, but that would lock it again.
Oh.
Yeah. We take it, and then we lock it again, and I have no idea we were here. You'd be like, didn't I have some celestial sword?
There does seem to be a really interesting looking bound book sitting on the table next to the display case, though.
Ooh.
It seems like when you look at it, it kind of seems to be made of some sort of strange, monstrous hide. It's really rough and has like a simple clasp, and it's made with like this. The binding of the steel seems to be some sort of strange, like almost like greenish crystal, like hard crystal. Picking it up, it looks like it's a spell book.
Got that sweet staff. All right. I set that on a desk. I try to open it. I mean, I don't give it anything other than just ordinary trying to open a book.
Yeah, just opening it.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
So it's hairy like a monster.
Not hairy. It's kind of like scaly.
Scaly.
Like scale. Almost like scale mail would be. It's whatever it is. Seems to be some sort of almost like leathery though, like almost like snake-like.
Like a
lot
keratin
of them.
kind of
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah.
Like a rhino. Like a rhinoceros. There you go.
I don't know what a rhino sounds like.
They grunt.
Locke, you have been afflicted with magical or wild magic.
Thank you.
I guys identify. You're turning into a potted
Mikey.
plant.
I'm just saying,
We're going to be here for a while.
there are some rolls on that table that could really help
He
right
also
now.
has an
What
inspiration.
if I do another identify wild magic and just explode in the middle of this guy's like super nice study with all these magical things?
Or he rolls and you hit the wish spell.
That would be pretty funny.
Oh my god!
Is that
Maybe.
So when you open it, there is a burst of purple flame-like light that begins to engulf your hands, and it begins to. You don't feel anything.
Yeah. All right, but I panic.
You panic. On the inside, the pages begin to fill with runes and arcane symbols, describing the layouts of especially innate and strange spells that you're not familiar with. Purple, the space around you begins to almost darken, and kind of light begins to kind of dissipate from your current space as you feel yourself suddenly like at the end of a magic mirror hall in a circus house. It just
fun house or something?
fun house. Everything
He's
begins.
frothing
The
at the
entire
mouth.
room behind you begins to get further away
Oh no.
as
It's a port key.
it begins to just glow purple. Every page, there's almost like a wisping kind of cloud that begins to light up and kind of just leak off the pages. Then with like black, long tendrils that begin to seep out of the sides of the book. This spell book is filled with raw arcane power. Most of it beyond your comprehension and ability to see through.
Yeah.
But you do recognize some of the spells. And you do realize that while holding this book, your ability to comprehend this is much higher than it would be without it. You recognize the gestures and the arcane symbols for confusion, for storm sphere, for agonizer's scorcher, darkness, shatter, flame arrows. All of these spells are within your reach to take and learn if you but bond with this spell book and take its knowledge for yourself. But as your mind's eye tries to dive deeper into this spellbook to learn more of its secrets, you start to get sick and feel pain in your mind. There is something in here, something powerful, just beyond your reach. A dark spell of necromantic, destructive power locked inside this spellbook.
Evil.
And then you can no longer withstand the psychic pain. And you're standing in the room.
Are you okay, Locke?
Yeah. I'm okay.
I could tell your eyes were like glowing, not glowing, glowing, not glowing. It was interesting.
It was an odd experience.
Find anything useful?
I don't know. Probably.
Are you still debating on what you're going to take?
Uh-huh.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I would think
Everything's
after looking at a book, you would be like, excited, but you seem quiet.
It's, I'm collating.
Are you gonna help me look at this?
Yes.
Thingy-majiggy?
I will.
Because I could ask the Goliaths,
That
but
will
I
help.
don't know if they know what this is.
So you take the book.
I know, I leave it on the desk. Turn to the boiling floaty dealy.
I want to know.
You identify it. It's a boiling floaty dealy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyrann, for your 4 months
did
in a
you
row.
guess
You
that
awesome.
name?
Tyrann! You legendary individual.
It is the boiling
I
floaty
adore
dealy.
Boiling.
I've read about this in books. The boiling floaty
It
deal.
floats and
Yeah,
it's boily.
I guess I ritually cast Identify, so
I've only heard
does the
about
wild
these in
magic
legend.
apply to a ritual cast?
No, it's not really the intention of it.
Aww.
I remember the descriptor saying something along the lines of a watch pot never boils.
It kind of makes sense to me. Rituals are so careful and precise. It's not like you're using a spell slot.
What?
Fudge?
What, you want some of this fudge?
The delicious
You want some fudge?
Do you want more of my fudge?
What?
No.
I like how he offers
It's so
you...
sticky.
I love how he offers you his sticky fudge, and he just hasn't said crap to me.
Do you want some of my sticky fudge?
Don't eat it.
I want it right in my mouth.
Let me get you some fudge for you.
So you're leaving the spell book, correct?
I am leaving it, yes.
Okay.
That's a question to be answered
As
another day.
as Hargraves walks up, you forgot your spell book.
Are you ready?
So when you set it back down,
No, you're not throwing that.
I'm not throwing it. I have to hand it to you.
a page of it slips out of the book and kind of just gently falls to the ground.
Wow.
The universe is yelling at me right now.
What? No.
All right, I pick up the page.
Ooh.
So
It's
you pick it up.
It's
You've
not
never
bad.
seen this spell before.
Ooh.
Ooh.
As I'm kind of looking it over, I'm like kind of listlessly walking over towards the floating orb and looking at the page.
Mm-hmm.
Lumi's like giving me her like, look at this size, and I just kind of lackadaisically start the identify ritual. It's sticky, right? It's like stuck
It's
in there.
like a brownie, but it's like it's not. It's like brownie batter.
It's good.
But it's not. It's like a brownie batter icing. It's not bready. It's sticky. Brownie batter icing with peanut butter.
So
I got inspiration.
Oh, so good.
you've seen similar spells before.
This is some good shit.
It's a spell that has
It
been.
is.
Ooh.
It's a spell that you've heard of, but you've never seen before. Some wizard at some point in time.
Ooh.
You remember hearing a story that he wanted to. He was a master at evocation magic, and he was not at all. He did not at all believe that magic missile was the limitation of what one could accomplish with the spell, and so dedicated a great portion of time to finding ways to bend the elemental force of raw arcane energy itself into a fierce, destructive weapon.
No, elemental.
It
missile.
is a 5th level evocation spell called Force Hydra.
What?
Wait,
the
what?
fuck?
Force Hydra?
Yo, hold up. The fuck you say?
Mm-hmm.
What'd that do?
The spell creates 5 ethereal Hydra heads of shimmering, translucent force,
Oh my
which dance around you and occupy a huge space that stays centered on you. These heads don't fill this space. Each head is an object with 17 AC and 25 hit points and immunity to poison and psychic damage. If the head is targeted by a disintegrate spell, it dies. As an action, you can cause the Hydra to grow an additional head.
Whoa!
The spell ends if all of the heads die. As an action, you can cause each head created by this spell to attack a creature within 20 feet of you.
Wow!
Make a melee spell attack for each head. On a hit, the target takes force damage equal to 1d10 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Fuck yeah! I go back to that book.
I give you permission to sell your soul.
Additionally, you have a number of extra reactions equal to the number of living Hydra heads.
What? That's a savage spell.
You can only use these reactions to make a single attack with a head when a hostile creature's movement provokes an opportunity attack from you. You can only use one reaction per trigger. At higher levels, when you cast the spell using a spell slot of 6th level or higher, you create 1 additional head for each slot above 5th.
Oh.
You're sounding like Alex when he was
So-
eating fudge.
So I'm like reading
That was really
this
good.
spell, and like I'm kind of trying to multitask and do the identify ritual, but as I get more into the spell, I just forget that I'm doing that.
Mhm.
So, Because I'm just really curious about the orb. I want to get closer. Does it feel hot?
No, it doesn't.
We pass each other as I'm staring at the page and going back towards the book.
And Amanda's like, fine, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I want to
Touch it.
So, I want to see if there's anything near me, like a stick or even like a torn book, something that if something happens, something happens, I don't feel any consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Like something broken, like like a straw.
Okay, like a straw.
I want to see Mummy go out, see a chair, and throw it down and break a leg.
And I want to touch it.
Okay, so he's like there's like a yardstick in there for, and you grab that and you take it and you poke it. Nothing happens, just ting. And the liquid kind of like sloshes a little bit on the inside.
I think this is the first magical room where nothing's exploded yet.
So I'm going to touch it.
Of course you are.
Because nothing has ever come of bad touching magical shit.
As you reach up and you're watching her do this, like out of the corner, you like look up from the spell scroll and you see her going this page from the spell book, and you see her getting ready to touch it, and you
look at this place.
And as you're getting ready to touch it,
face.
You see something. And we're going to take a break.
No! Why always when I do something?
You do the bad
monster. That spell book has got some
It could do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, at this point, we all grab something, we all leave. And we leave a note saying why we did it and what happened. If he wants them back, we'll give them back.
Thank you, everybody, for the gifted subs, for joining us. Thank you for the raids. We're going to take a short little 10-15 minute intermission because I have to use the restroom. Take a break here real quick. And we're going to get back to them, raiding this wizard's workshop while he's gone.
Raiding his life's work.
Let's see if the wizard is tempted by raw power, and what kind of path could that lead you down?
Let me give you a hint. Yeah.
No hesitation.
And the card from the deck of many things. Man, that must have been, that's priceless and must have been invaluable for you to have activated.
Why wasn't it locked? He must be a little scatterbrained. He was just making notes and then just left.
I would just like to point out that technically the workshop is locked.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. But oh my goodness, he's gonna not be happy.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I know there's a card. I don't remember specifically. Like, I know I've read through it, but I don't know what it does. So I can't meta this.
Once Andy was like, "Oh, you pick up the card," I'm like, "I know what the fact that is. This is what's on it." Oh fuck! I know what that is.
Yeah.
Baller.
So,
and then of course the chat said I had to.
Oh, of course, because they're on your side anyways.
I like to think that we're all in this together. Or at least that's the corporate message.
You would be wrong.
I will betray you.
Have you seen the things that they have paid for and used with their channel points to do to you as individuals?
Like, wow,
You're obligated to say you like the store.
I love the store. It's awesome.
There's a channel point store down there, by the way, which allows you guys, do things like bane the players, give the enemies extra damage and armor and more of them. And you could also increase their loot on loot drops with things like get rich richer, give them, healing potions and help them as well.
Didn't Malachi
help
do
them
this?
as well. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. Thank you all so much for hanging out, for coming to us. Thank you for the raids. That's probably freaking awesome.
And
I was kind of in the middle of a spiel.
Studios.
I know, I'm getting to that. Manapod Studios, thank you so much. Once again, I was in the middle of a spiel, so I was like, I just want to finish getting through this. And I accidentally forgot to save some of the work I did on my notes this week, so I had to go find it all again.
No.
Because I am terrible.
I'm so bad at keeping my notes organized.
Yeah,
it's
it was
all
terrible.
A mess.
No, it was organized. I just didn't click the save button before I closed it. You know what I mean? All right.
Hi, the malevolent baguette.
That is so good.
So good.
Love it.
My next character would have a baguette of malevolence.
Because
how much to bless the dwarf? Who's the dwarf, Obscurial? Because if you're talking about Solus is gone. Solus ain't here no more.
You did.
No more
You are behind in episodes.
You are behind in episodes.
I'm still here.
I guess the shortest person here is
Faith took him away from us.
Took him away.
Like in real life?
All right, we're going to go to break.
Not the shortest.
Go
She's
take a break
the shortest.
yourselves,
She's
get snacks
5'7".
and stuff. We're going to be right back. Thank you all so much.
back.
Enjoy this glimpse at
You didn't die.
I'm back.
the work and what I accomplished with Incarnate, and know that you can do something similar, if not better to what I did, because I'm not an expert, but enjoy this kind of preview of what Incarnate has to offer and
It's
what
great.
you can do with it and accomplish in a pretty short amount of time. So we're going to be right back. Thank you all so much for being here, and you are all fucking awesome. And we have a Discord. You should join that. We have giveaways coming up this month. Ask moderators about it. They can inform you next week. And
giveaway.
we'll be right back. That was wicked awesome.
It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wicked awesome.
Makes me feel like we should have like a really in-depth and dramatic explanation for what was just going on. But we don't.
Because it was nothing. We just came back. We're just happy to be here and be spending time with all of you again.
Either that or it's a total
Boss.
lie and there's a bunch of stuff going on.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Maybe.
y'all don't need to know about
And
that.
thank you so much for that donation. We appreciate it very much. You are an amazing
Anon.
individual. And Anon, you're awesome.
Ignore.
You anonymous person.
Who are you? Show yourselves.
You show yourself, you son of a bitch.
I'm gonna change my account name to anonymous, so when I go into other people's streams and stuff, if there's anonymous donations, I totally take credit. It was me, anonymous.
That's
it's
evil.
pronounced anonymous, but it's spelt like anonymous.
That being said, welcome back, everybody. Our awesome community. We're so happy to be here. Something was happening, right? I so much cool stuff has happened. I forgot.
Well, there was a spell.
There was a
and then
spell.
Louie was touching
and
stuff.
someone used a card from the deck of many things.
I touched
Touching stuff that does ring a bell. Okay, so
think
as you reach up to touch it,
Yes.
you see that it sort of reacts to like your hand being there. There's a presence on the inside of it. And you almost see like this strange form of a hand that mirrors yours on the inside.
It's a paw?
No, not a... well, yeah, it's a paw. Whatever. But it's a hand. The point is it's a hand-like thing, okay? Matches your paw,
An appendage.
okay? And it kind of just... It's just there. So as you move your hand, it kind of just moves with you.
And I kind of say out loud, "Are you a baby?"
Then I really look over at him.
Look, it's following my hand, like you know when you hold on to a mom's belly and you kind of feel the hand of a young.
I've never done that.
You've never done that. Have you never had siblings?
No, I wasn't born. I was built, and I suppose we're all siblings in a sort of way. If you want to get philosophical.
You're just making me think of that fucking episode of Futurama on Mother's Day. Fender's like, look, I got a picture from my mommy, and it's just the robot. It's like, happy birthday, Unit 1001.
I need to mark this down as a quote. No, well, yes, whatever. It's a hand. Do you agree?
So
It looks like a hand!
So I try to do like a hand thing, and I like when you're in like I fog a mirror and I do a little and I say hi.
Okay, so you do that, and it just kind of disappears, and then it reappears in the reverse so that you can read it. It just says hi.
I want to try.
Fascinating.
I want to try and pull it. And I want to hold on to it.
So
Oh,
you
no.
try to grab it, you put both hands on it, and then pull it down. And meanwhile, it's mimicking your hand movement. So you see this almost liquid form of whatever it is, like matching your hands on the inside, like but from its perspective. And you're trying to like pull it and move it, but it won't go anywhere.
Wait, probably not the best. I'll be over there in a minute.
Okay. So I go into my.
If I
go
could
into,
drool, I am.
I go into my stuff.
There's a little bit of oil.
Yeah.
I go into my stuff because now I'm curious.
Mhm.
I pull out the teddy bear I have,
Mm-hmm.
and I put its hand and I put it on the thing to see if it mimics it.
It doesn't. Oh my god! It just completely blew her mind, dude. Like someone clipped that. She was like, "Wait,
No.
this experiment is a failure." Like just.
So I try and get the bear's hands, the teddy bear's hands, and I try and pull it out.
It won't budge. It's just suspended there still.
Godric!
He's over there drooling over a sword.
Godric!
He's in the display case, just
You see Godric. I'm just moving stuff around, looking for anything, looking for weapons. Just, what do you want?
Godric, here. I want to see if it can imitate your hand.
What?
This is interesting. It's like a baby in a stomach, and it's mimicking, but it won't mimic the bear. So try and put your hand on it.
I walk over and look at her.
I almost feel like I should make you take an intelligence check to see if you understood that.
I'm getting to that. What the fuck did you say? What are you talking about?
This liquid thing is mimicking me. I said hi. I wrote hi, and it wrote hi back so I can see it. But when I put this teddy bear on it, it didn't mimic the teddy bear. So I wanted to see if it's maybe I'm special, or maybe it just knows you and everyone else. So put your hand on it.
At that, I look at this orb. Oi! Tink, tink! And knock on it.
Yeah, it knocks back. Tink, tink.
See? I write name ?
It responds with name ?
I immediately stop, turn around, and walk over to Locke.
Damn it.
Locke.
Locke is bowls deep in a page of something.
I know how to get him out of this. I immediately reach under and grab him under his arms and lift him up.
No.
You backed on a few pounds?
I can't do that.
I put you down.
It's Morty's mind blowers.
I'm surprised too. I'm like,
The whole material plane shattered.
As a human person, I go, oh.
so you have a critical. So Godric has a critical from Bubba. Bubba.
Oh! Yeah!
Grant a player a critical, right?
You have a critical.
You put that in the hands of just the right player because
I make shit
he
explode.
does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
I immediately...
All right, put me down. Stop it.
Look, Hargraves, look at this. It mimics. I said hi, it said hi. I said name ? It said name ?
I knocked and it knocked back.
Mimic saliva.
A what?
I don't know. That's the best guess. I start
As he says that, I immediately just throw my hands up and go right back to what I'm doing. So confused.
Louis, perhaps you should leave it alone.
I start identifying it.
It's not a magical substance.
Yeah.
It's a bean.
There's no magic to it. It's something natural.
Is it a baby?
It could be.
Is it a creature? It's a living thing.
Look, it's imprisoned and behind several locked doors and some magic. So let's ignore it.
I check for locks when he says that.
You find all 0 locks.
It's in a sphere of glass.
But you said there's locks. I could pick lock it.
It's a perfect sphere of glass with no seams.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Something.
Drop it?
Don't.
Well, I can't even pick it up.
Stop it.
I can't even pick this up, but it's really interesting. And then I write on it, bye.
Oh. How dare you make me feel sad. But Godric's not here.
So I know you're all absolutely fascinated with this floating.
I'm not. I go back to my book.
I'm already back looking for shit.
Yeah. You guys have more or less scoured the entire place and found anything of value or assistance at this point.
So I close the book again. Leave it on the desk.
Yes. Look, you're not one to not talk.
It's a delicate balance we're striking here. If we take too much, we make a powerful enemy. We don't take enough, we die.
Here, we'll do it like we've done before. We will leave him a note, telling him what happened, telling him what we have borrowed, and tell him that if he wants it back, to ask, and we will bring it back. We are not bad people.
Well, we've already crossed a pretty irreversible line.
We'll totally blame that one
The
on
card
the
is
We'll
gone.
blame that on the Lord. Said he told us to do that.
You know what? What is it they say? better to ask forgiveness.
Hi, Lonnie.
We've already.
It's Lonnie.
Lonnie Lightning subscribing with tier 1. What is up, my brother? Man, what's going on up in here? How's it going, Lonnie? Glad to see you once again. It feels like it's been a minute, man. You kind of, you abandoned me. I'm feeling it a little bit. There's a little personal here. All right? Like, what's going on, man? Like,
All right.
It's okay, though. I still love you. Don't leave.
Don't really go.
Don't go. My God, man. By the way, let's drop us a little shout out for Lonnie Lightning. Lonnie Lightning is the fucking man. Oh my God. If you like watching somebody who's genuinely super entertaining and amazing as an individual, sells himself, is basically a perfect work of art, and he does, I don't know, like cool wall dances, and he, shakes his ass and has some amazing soundtracks. It's like a cool kickback to when I was a kid when I listened to the music he plays in his stream.
He does
Yeah,
have an amazing playlist.
It's gonna be brutal when those companies start claiming copyright in the near future, but it's well worth it until then, Lonnie.
What was that?
Ask for forgiveness.
Asking for
permission.
forgiveness instead of permission.
The point is, if you're not already following him as a member of this community, go do it now. It's worth the follow, worth checking out. Plays Rainbow Six Siege mostly. It's well worth spending a session there. I'm telling you, the game comes second. I'm selling you him.
Yeah, you're not there for gameplay. You're not there for his amazing killing skills. You're not there for anything but his wonderful personality and his amazing birthmark.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's good, but like as opposed to most other content creators here on Twitch, he earns it and he puts the work in. His character work is fantastic. He's just he's buttery smooth voice.
Oh yeah,
Like
buttery
smooth. And the game really does come second to the level of entertainment that he provides. Like really. It's a shame he doesn't span out more. But people, they have weird expectations. It's weird.
If you really want a great story from Lonnie and you want to go there and see him for who he really is, just ask him about that one time he starred in a porno.
Yeah.
You
That's
know
it.
what I'm talking about, Lonnie.
He's saving that story. He
Lonnie.
saves that story now, though. He doesn't. He told it a little while ago. But yeah. You don't want to overuse that one.
Yeah, you gotta pepper him in.
You got to pepper him in.
Yeah.
It's true.
And
It's
then
true.
you really know who's like there and watching and paying attention and stuff. When it's like they're like, "Oh, I've been watching you since the beginning," and it's like you don't know the porno story.
Oh, lethal. You cannot even begin to fathom the bounds at which I absolutely love and adore Lonnie. I would do so much for that man. It worries me.
It's like I don't know about love, but I do have a profound respect for the level of work he puts into what he does.
Yeah, that's not what I said.
Yeah, no, Andrew loves him. Like I like him. He seems like a super cool guy. Like,
Still the
You don't
greatest
love
story
him?
you've ever
Yeah.
told, Lonnie.
You don't love
I
this
reserve
that
for
sexy
very
man?
special people within my life. I don't know.
But I will say this: if you are into the fact that you like Rainbow Six Siege, it's a game that you're into, he is a great watch. Comes
Yeah.
in clutch, good player. Sometimes puts
teammate,
himself in
too.
situations where he's very low on ammunition because he shoots at everything
Good
And
sport.
forgets to reload
and forgets to reload.
a
But
lot.
it's good times. Some might even say he's like pretty good at the game. Yeah, well, no, he's pretty good at the game.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And so, like, you got some people that stream that just totally ignore their chat, and they're just like, that they're just into it to do the best they can at the game because they're trying to get attention based off their skill level in the game. He competes easily with those folks while he's still engaging with his audience and making like this awesome show. So it's like, if he was a jerk and just neglected his audience, imagine how much better he could be.
What?
He would never do that.
Yeah, but he wouldn't.
And
Yeah.
in response to our wonderful words, he done hit us in the face with 5 gifted subs.
Thank you so much, Lonnie. You really are a fucking bro, man. And I really hope that TwitchCon does not get canceled because I am gonna see you there, my buddy, for like legit. And you know what? It's normally in September, so I'm hoping where in LA.
Yeah, it's fucked.
Yeah, it's probably fucked, but they haven't canceled it officially yet. What? Well, I can
move it.
hope.
Move
Right,
it some
they can
move
move
it so.
Move it to like Reno.
But
Wouldn't that be magical?
I'll pay for your room if you're here, Lonnie.
It would be magical.
you should come. What you should do is you should come visit us, or
We'll have a nice bed and cot for you that
we
will
love you,
be
man.
Basically, you'll have a sleeping pillow by the name of Andy.
It's so amazing. I really do. Believe me, I talk to Alex about it on a regular basis. I'm just like, I wish that I was like more into Rainbow Six and that it was like a game that I was into and like a PC player, because I would like be there nonstop all the time.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't see me in chat, I normally am in your stream. Like I had you on all week this week while I was working on D&D shit. You were right there. And I was listening to you and trying to pay attention, but you're always in my heart. You're number one, man.
Yeah.
And I cannot explain to you how happy I am that you're as successful as you are and it's working out for you the way that it has been, man. Like,
you deserve it.
When we first got dropped into your stream, I had always hoped and knew that you would end up going the direction you are, so I'm happy that it's working out that way for you, man.
Yeah, because, you put in the work and you make it, you put in the effort every day you're doing it. You have the charisma, you have the you have your stories, and you know how to be. You're a showman, like legit. So you filled up the cup that you only need a little bit of luck, but it's good that you got it. Like the little bit of it, just the right people noticing you and whatnot. But you did all the rest of the work. And unlike Andy, and I know this is like basically a crime to say, but I am not a fan of Rainbow Six Siege, like at all. Like,
he's not a fan of shooters in general, unless it's
I like some shooters, just not Rainbow Six Siege. It's just I have some of my own opinions about it. I get why people like it. I can see why it's a competitive thing. It's just not my style of game. I just don't prefer it. Mm-hmm. But I watch you play it because I watch it for you, and you're great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're amazing.
So I watch it anyway, especially because I'm also surrounded with like the metagamers that are super into it and using all this inside lingo and call outs, and the people that are striving to get on teams and stuff like that. But
Taran, thank you so much for those gifted subs. You're an amazing individual. You're fucking legendary.
It's like I don't want to handle so much of it, but I'll watch it if you're doing it. It's like I'll watch it in spite that you're doing Rainbow
He wants to do a Witcher run for you now.
What?
Yeah. I would totally watch you play The Witcher and enjoy every minute of it, because that is hands down one of my top 10 best video games ever made that I have ever played in my life. Yeah. And I would totally, if it was what we're gonna have to do.
I want to see Lonnie dress up as girl.
But more importantly, Lonnie, listen, man. I send you DMs, you don't respond. It's cool, man. I get it, because you're a busy dude and you have a lot going on. But I did send you a message in particular about the details of our Cyberpunk one-shot, so I really do need you to get back to me on that. It's going to be on September 11th, 7:30 p.m. You said I would love to have you on as a guest and for you to come play Cyberpunk Red with us. So you're going to have to hit me up on the details of your availability and making that work if we can get you on, because I would love to have you come play and with us. Obviously, in person is pretty much a real stretch, but the point is, hit me up with the details on whether or not that availability slot works for you in September on 11th before the release of 2077.
He said, wait, I did.
And he says, hang on.
Hang on.
He probably pulled a mic where he checks the message, goes, yeah, I'm going to respond to that, and then never does.
I've done that.
Might have forgot.
Or you'll even write it out, but you're not quite done, and then you get distracted, and you don't sit.
I've done, oh God, I'm so terrible.
Either way, it's not a big deal. The point is, if you missed it or didn't, or if I missed it in some way, it's not a big deal. I'm just reminding you that, I would love to have you on. I'm super serious, and I am super working on a special project just for you. It's going to be awesome. It involves a miniature. You're going to really love it. And I'm going to start working on that hopefully soon, and I will mail it to you. So eventually I will be asking for your P.O. box or your business address. It's going to be really cool. So look forward to that.
There is one thing that I didn't miss, though. Thanks to the generosity of Taran and Lonnie Lightning, as well as our other subscribers, we smashed our subscriber goal for the week. We're at like 23 right now.
Right on.
You guys
Thank you all so much.
Good to us.
You are way too good to us. You're an amazing community. This is the best fucking place ever to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we could never have imagined have gotten to this place when we first had the thought of just going, streaming D&D sounds like something that would be fun, right?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I always have flashbacks when we talk about it, and we have these moments of not playing the game. I always think about the fact that we started with grabbing fold-out chairs or fold-out tables, just cheap ones that we could find. We used the TV to look at the video as we were recording it. The Blue Yeti mic I had at the time, and I would carry my goddamn desktop out of my room every fucking Friday. Set it up, spend all my fucking time setting that up, getting started at 9 o'clock, and then recording till fucking 2 in the morning. Just us playing D&D.
I gotta be honest.
Don't miss those days.
I don't miss the 2 a.m. stuff.
You had a floor back then, so it's fine.
Yeah. I have a legit bed up here now, and I hate it when we stay up that late.
That's Scurial. Cyberpunk has a brand new reboot of their system coming up called Cyberpunk Red that should release before the release of Cyberpunk 2077. Yes, you bet your fucking ass that people still play Cyberpunk, the tabletop role-playing game. It is highly successful and highly anticipated, mostly because of all the hype around CD Projekt Red's.
Yeah, it's going to have a
Cyberpunk
rebirth.
2077.
That's gonna be so fucking good.
Yes.
I'm so.
I can't
I'm
wait
just
to
pointing
play
this
through
out, chat. Me and Andy fucking love
It's
sci-fi.
gonna be my
I
heroine.
fucking love sci-fi. Okay, don't get me wrong. Fantasy's fucking great. Magic's awesome. But give me that futuristic bullshit.
Mhm.
And for all those who are watching, I will be there. Give me the details, Lonnie.
I will send you the details, sir. I will lay out
Deets.
the concept and how we will get you a character and get you made. It may require some off-stream time on your end to connect with me to, make a character and such. And but you can find a free PDF online for Cyberpunk Red to kind of get you started heading in that direction to familiarize yourself with the base rules before the game is actually released.
Yeah, and we can totally help you with
And we can help you with that. I will send you the links and the information. Either way, it's amazing. I'm glad that you dropped by. I love you, man. So I hope you have a good night and everything's going good for you.
Total Wellness.
Where were we?
Thank you for thanking Prozac Jr. for your gifted sub. It's really great to see when people actually bother to go in and Prozac Jr. is an excellent member of our community. And Lethal Wealth, we are just glad that we got such awesome people to be spending this kind of time with
Yeah,
us.
absolutely.
I'm so happy to have done this with my in general, just to have done this, especially with my friends.
This is the best part of it every week.
This is legit what I get excited for.
Me too.
This
Simultaneously sucks for me though, because I hate that drive so much.
yeah.
God, I hate it. It's
Yeah.
worth it.
And for all those who don't know, he lives like an hour away, so he commutes like 2 hours a night to come play with us. So
It's worth it. Damn, I hate it.
But yeah, by the way,
Hydras!
but you got fucking hydras, bro.
So that being
I
said,
want that spell.
that awesome shout out. Let's get right back into what we were doing. Love you, Lonnie. You
Night-night,
fucking
Lonnie.
derailed me, man.
Yeah,
Lonnie,
I think we
you're
were
amazing.
smashing the ball.
Go to bed. Dream of
alright,
the
we
wonderful
were not
lightning bolts in the
smashing
sky.
Thank you.
We
We're
definitely were
looking
not.
at it.
I'm not fucking smashing them.
I may or may not have a recording of your voice that I play with me, before I go to bed, just so I can. It helps me go to sleep at night, man.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Hey, idea.
I'm telling you.
Recordings. Buy them for 99 cents.
Yeah, sell
People can use
MP3s
them
of
for
your
their
amazing
phones,
stuff. Yeah.
ringtones, stuff like that.
I
Yeah,
would.
there you go.
The Lonnie
You can
Lightning
take that.
jingles.
Yes.
Yeah, Lonnie Lightning jingles, text messages, stuff like that. People would buy it. People people love stickers, and all that kind of stuff. It sounds dopey, but it's great.
Yeah. It's amazing.
I know I did it once with the what? Oh my God! What's it called?
It doesn't
it's
matter.
Red.
We're gonna play
It's
D&D
deodorant. It's red and deodorant.
Axe?
Prozac
No.
Jr., thank you so much
no,
for gifting
get out.
Viking
Old
God of
Spice.
Games. That's
Old
your
Old
one
Spice.
sub. You're an
Old
amazing
Spice.
supporter
I did
and
it with the Old
individual. We
Spice
love
guy.
you.
Lonnie's lullabies. There
Yes.
you go, Lilith.
Lonnie's
Lonnie's
lullabies.
Yeah. You tell you can do it's like you can do it like Samuel L. Jackson. You just read "Go the fuck to sleep." You know what I mean?
Good night, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, what were we doing?
Smashing the orb.
They were looking at the orb.
Okay.
Not smashing it.
It's hanging up there, and it doesn't seem like there's any real way to maneuver it or move it. You touch it, it doesn't go anywhere.
She wrote bye. That's what she did. That was the
Yeah.
last thing we did. She wrote bye.
She rolled by.
Bye, sad face.
Yeah, and it buys sad faces back.
Yeah,
Go miss you, Bubbles.
those emoticons they get you every
She
time.
named it Bubbles. Okay.
All right. So,
I'm telling
what are you guys doing?
it's mimics.
I go up to Locke. So what
Yes.
are we doing?
the real question is, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing, Locke?
What you doing? What you doing?
What is the plan?
All right, we've crossed the line already. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. And I start attuning to the
All
book.
of a sudden.
Then I said, we're doing that. Can I have that? I point my axe that is in my hand now for some reason. I point at the sword.
Yeah, let's try and get that. Yeah. I'm gonna try and
Remember when the DM said that was a totally valid concern when Locke was like, maybe we shouldn't take everything, make an enemy.
Well, he said that, and then he tempted me with immense power.
So it's all intended to happen.
The question is,
It's like Andy knows me. He knows I can't say no.
but the question is, do we need
It's a
it?
power.
Do we need this? Because we can just take the sword that he has and your book and go. I don't need another weapon.
Bye, Max!
Bye, Kobold Max!
Bye, Max! Bye, Kobold! Bye!
if you feel like we shouldn't.
You guys really miss out that you can't see him. He is so handsome.
It's beyond amazing, really. Like I'm scared to put him on screen for it once in the world because he's gonna have to wear a mask.
You're overhyping it. All right.
No, he's pretty handsome.
He's pretty handsome.
Yeah, he's pretty handsome.
He's handsome, but he's no Lonnie Lightning. That's for real.
He's no Lonnie Lightning, that's for sure. Doesn't put that work in. But if he did, he could come close.
Okay.
But anyways.
I'm just saying that I am not scared of this wizard, but if you are, then let us not do it.
Don't we have enough enemies? We can always return what we take.
Do we leave him a note then? I don't. You know me. I will take until someone tells me to stop.
What weapon do you have, by the way, right now?
There's currently 3 on my back, right? Well, 2 on my back and 1 in my hand.
All
That's
the great
outrageous.
weapons.
I have a great axe on this side.
So great.
I have
It
a
is
great
a
maul
fu-
this way.
Yeah,
I have a broken sword on behind me, and then I have the big hitter in my hand.
That
Powerful
sword, that
extend.
sword ain't
Oh,
broken.
that's right,
It
you just got the
fucking
big hitter.
exploded.
Yeah, exploded.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I've got a +1 great
You
axe.
just got the big hitter thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I've just got a big hitter that looks like a dwarven axe that looks like it has some extra mechanisms on it. Now that you look at it.
Neato. All right. Well, yeah. Then we're pretty good.
Oh, I'm taking liberal use of it. I've already told you what I was doing with this sword.
So
No,
we're going to
this
take
axe-
all the potions.
What a clumsy way to interject the exposition of what it looks like, though, into the conversation. That's all. Just like weird.
All right.
I'm gonna describe it more later.
I think we have plenty of weapons, and the loose items we've gathered are enough. But I can't say no to this book.
What's special about that book?
Secrets beyond even what I could explain.
Can I see?
Is it like his magic book?
One of them. If he's just going to leave it out, I'm sure it's not even his best one.
Well, like you said, the door was locked.
But still, he bothered to lock up the sword.
Well, if we live, it's not like we can't come back with the book, right?
That's correct. And
spells.
I started tuning to it.
It is one of those things we can bring back.
Well, then if we're gonna take things that we can bring back, let's open the door. You got the sword. I want the
I'm
sword.
zoned out. I'm getting into the book.
Are you going to spend an hour to attune to it?
Yep.
Do you have an attunement slot available?
Kind of. I can easily get rid of what
That's 2 hours then.
it is.
I'd like to try to open the case.
Yeah, it doesn't budge.
No one else here is a caster.
No.
But you.
So I can't really pass this on to anybody. Well, hell.
Decisions.
You're in a pickle.
Well,
You can. But we can always just get what we want now and then come back. I don't know. We don't want to spend too much time here. This isn't. We have things to go to.
frankly, if he shows up, it's probably a good thing. He could help us even more.
We're not going to be spending days here.
At that,
No.
I walk over to where his desk is, scoot it over, grab a couple books, and lay down. Using the books because he's going to say he wants to stay here for a little bit, so I'm just fucking making myself comfortable.
Okay.
I look at you. You know, there are chairs.
And I.
They're sturdy chairs.
It's-
All right, fine. So I, the hidden dagger that's actually inside of my arm pops out, and at the wrist length, there's a little ruby on it, and I just kind of put my fingers to it, and then my eyes go dark, and I start kind of mumbling something. The first hour, I unattune to the Ruby of the War Mage.
That sounds powerful.
That sounds like a really good item that shouldn't be a tingle.
It's okay. It allows any weapon it's attached to be a focus for magic.
No, Andy, I really appreciate everything that you've given me over the past few months.
No, it's an excellent. It's excellent, but I don't actually use the dagger a whole lot. It's kind of like in desperation mode, so that's the one I'm going to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So
Fair enough,
for the
fair
first hour, and once it's done, the ruby just kind of plinks off of the dagger. I withdraw it, and then I shove that into my satchel. Then I pull the book over to me.
Uh-oh.
And I begin attuning to it.
You are now cursed.
I begin dozing off after the first
I
hour.
might be super cursed. We'll see.
Let's read it together. Ah!
Upon attuning to it and looking through it as it begins to unravel its mysteries to you, you realize that this is called the Grimoire of Kali.
Write it in notes. Notey notes. Grandma of Kali. Sounds like an evil. Is it evil?
Kali with a K or C?
With K. Khali.
Kali.
Kali.
Oh, no. Not
Jesus
like that guy.
Christ.
I was about to say, like, Wiz Khalifa.
Wow.
Kind of. There's a Kali in
Oh
there.
my god, I dislike you so much right now.
It's Kali.
Okay, Grimoire of Kali.
So,
Oh boy, that's gonna be neat.
this ancient text was once bound to a servant of this long forgotten goddess from a faraway land far, far east of here on another continent. This book found its way here.
Ooh.
The grimoire has theological prophecies etched into its very pages, and they light this. You suddenly see the cosmos and astrology and have this greater understanding of the space and the spheres of influence.
Getting Doctor Strange in here.
But it comes at a cost.
This is a perfect choice.
Comes at a cost.
Comes at a cost. Comes at a cost.
As if you do not cast a spell from this book, at every opportunity a chance has that you have a chance to use a spell and instead opt to use some other magical incantation device or other spell scroll, rod, anything, it will begin to sap away at your very arcane energies.
Sap away.
You won't die, son.
I'm only living because of arcane energy.
Any day that you do fail to cast a spell from this tome and opt to cast from something else, you must roll a D100.
Oh no.
On 100, the spellbook, the tome, is destroyed
Oh no.
along with you.
Oh!
Neat.
What a bad book.
That's a bad book. That's right.
On this list of 100 effects is anywhere between it destroying itself with you
Oh no. Area
and
effect.
losing a level,
Oh. Ooh, brutal.
Ooh.
Oh.
as well as losing a spell slot
Ooh, like permanently?
permanently.
Oh, fuck. That's brutal.
But as long as you are attuned to this grimoire, your intelligence level is permanently increased by 2.
Ooh!
That's pretty good. Does that mean it can go over 20?
Yes.
Ooh!
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Sha!
Oh, you're
Spicy.
Feel the goodness.
You just see
All
Locke
these
over
gifts mean that this next fight is going to be so.
With the knowledge of how awesome that it
I know that's.
I want to open that cage now.
I know
the
that's
box now. I
very
want to open.
meta.
With how awesome that is, I want what's
You're
inside
about to
that.
throw some terrible shit at us, aren't you?
We'll find out.
I would like to rescind
means
my comment
yes.
of not taking more shit.
That's, I mean, fair.
I want to open the damn box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
The lock. What's behind the lock, guys?
I mean,
So your intelligence increase is increased by 2 permanently as long as you're attuned to the item. So,
Oof.
to clarify, if you cast a spell from any other magic item other than the grimoire every day, you must roll that D100.
Does he roll it or you?
He
Oh,
rolls,
so-
and I tell him what the effects are.
Over the course of the day, if you cast from anything else. It's not each time,
Yeah,
but
not each time.
for that day, if you have
Yeah.
cast from something else other than the grimoire, that's when you roll.
Yes,
and it just happens the one time each day.
every day. Yes, 1 time each day.
Well, I'll be rolling pretty much every day, probably. Unless the spellbook has everything, but I doubt it.
Everything is awesome.
Now, like cantrips.
Oh, jeez.
You're fucked.
Well, that's the risk you take.
Mhm.
I can always unattune.
No, you can't. You want to think you can, but you can't.
Maybe you can't. I don't know.
I'm just saying you
Find
won't.
out if I try.
But
Uh-oh.
that being said,
There's a whole list of spells.
from the spellbook, you may cast. You learn the spells.
Is this something you could email my direction?
I can, but you learn the spells: Chromatic Orb,
Oh yeah.
Earth Tremor, Fog Cloud, Thunderwave,
Oh gosh.
Witch Bolt,
Oh no.
Continual Flame,
Sounded
Gust of Wind,
pretty blasty.
Scorching Ray, Shatter,
Ooh.
Feign Death,
Ooh.
Glyph of Warding,
Mm.
Lightning Bolt, which you already have, Wall of Water, Ice Storm,
Wow.
Wall of Fire, and some other spells beyond your immediate comprehension are in the
Wow.
book as well.
I don't think you
Of a
need to
higher
cast other
level.
spells right now. We should sell that staff of yours.
Well, this is all explode what's in front of me mostly.
Good.
So,
That's all you're good for.
You know, evocate a lot of it's evocation stuff.
which is good because war mage and all.
Oh, there was something I was going to ask about. Something about spells, popping spells. Oh, do these all count as prepared spells, or does he kind of choose between his spell books that he has when he's
These all
preparing
count as
spell?
prepared spells.
So they're already prepared.
Yes.
So they add that on top of the spells he already prepared.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, D&D Beyond does
Ooh.
not have a thing for that.
Yes,
Ooh.
it does.
They changed it?
Yeah, if you can do, you can't
They're
do it
called
from your
updates,
character
but-
edit, but you can on the character sheet. You can just add spells all day long.
Ooh.
Cool.
Ooh, wow, that makes it double strong. They're all prepared. It's just like,
Well,
Now,
all these good things with
The final caveat.
Oh gosh.
ooh, caveats.
Caviar.
You in no way, shape, or form feel that you should ever be parted from this book for any reason.
Oh no.
There is a strong destructive nature and bloodlust attached to this tome.
Yeah.
Told you.
Well,
Mhm.
what's done is done.
You're in love with this book.
Oh, I sure am.
You fucking cuddle that book.
It's my
every day.
precious.
Ugh,
Mhm.
weird. I guess he's a robot person, so it's not that much of a stretch.
Oh yeah. So as I'm attuning to this thing, everything kind of starts to dim, and then when I'm finished, I come back and the eyes they come back, and instead of the normal like soft blue, they're this dark deep red, and then I kind of shake and then go back to the blue. Excellent choice, I must say. Very good book.
Yeah, well, just remember, we have to give it back when we're done.
No, we don't.
What about that big speech about enemies?
Yeah. Well, it's my book now. I don't know what to say.
Well, we'll cross that bridge
Then
if we survive.
Well then,
Godric's been waiting.
I've been sleeping. What is this? It was a wonderful nap. The books about history were comfortable.
Well, let me just see what I can do here.
What are we doing next?
Tempt fate right off the bat.
What?
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 I'm going.
What did he say, Huggers?
That was me, not.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Never mind.
I know it's hard to tell. I'm sorry.
Be more robotic.
So you understand the tome, though, right?
Yeah. Once a day, if I cast something that isn't a spell from it, I have to roll a D100 and live with whatever consequences I land on for however long they last.
Yeah.
Imagine if we have no combat all day.
There's some pretty fucking brutal consequences on here, just to let you know. So
On a scale of 1,
It's super cursed.
super cursed.
Curse!
But the more time you spend with it, and maybe if you spend time studying the book, you might get access to more spells. So
You seem like you're about to do something.
I am about to do something.
what are you doing?
I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on the lock on the sword's display.
Oh shit.
Which isn't one of the book's spells.
Super, not in the book.
super not the book.
Oh no.
Well, so when does he roll? Does he roll when he does it or
Yes.
at the end of the day?
No, he rolls when he does it.
Okay.
Oh no.
It only takes effect once a day. Is the point?
Okay, gotcha.
Because he's not guaranteed to have to cast the magic.
Less a low number.
22.
22.
Oh,
You eviscerate and lose an arm.
Oh, jeez. This is super cursed.
Oh, don't forget wild magic.
Oh, wild magic.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
no.
I did actually use a spell slot for this one, so...
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, who gave you that, by the way?
I think it was.
Is that another D100 for the
Wild magic?
magic? Or is it...
Yeah, it is another D100.
Alright,
So that one you just got is 22,
22
right?
on the book.
Do you want another pair of D100 dice?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
I think it was either Jim
I think
or it was Bubba Butt.
It was Max.
Here's Max.
Max. Ooh.
32.
32 on the wild magic.
Oh no.
You are now suffering from a curse directly. If you fall to 0 hit points, you must roll equal to or below the challenge rating of the creature that dropped you to 0. If you fail to roll below, you die instantly.
That's the book?
That's the book.
Is that
For-
perpetual?
Is that forever?
Yeah.
Alright.
Cursed.
But if he breaks it, then it breaks the curse, or is it like...
It's a curse.
or something?
You have to
Curse
remove
sticks.
the curse if
He's
it's a
cursed.
curse.
He's cursed.
That's rough.
You should write that down.
Oh, you know.
Write it down. That's
yeah.
your life on the line.
And then he got a 32 for the wild magic.
32.
Yes, sir. 32. He immediately drops to 0 hit points.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, there's no creatures, so it's just death.
Oh, fuck.
Like that backfired. Random tables, everyone.
Yeah, see, Max says it was me that gave him wild magic.
No, that wasn't.
That wasn't me.
Oh.
It wasn't Bubba. It wasn't. I think it's Jim.
I'm not on the...
I think it was Jammer.
Yeah, I'm not on the freaking...
What would you roll for the alternate? For the
32.
32?
Well, Jim. No, Jim gave you inspiration.
Yeah.
Was it you, Obscure?
Obscurio?
I don't know who it was. Legendary Legacy Warlock.
I actually think I might be able to. Yep.
That's funny.
Medium.
He turned into a
Suddenly-
plant.
Suddenly, all magic within your vicinity stops working as you now create an anti-magic field centered on yourself.
Does that include the locks?
Includes the locks. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking rip open this box.
No! What? Oh, no.
Wait, do you die?
No, I mean, that would be silly.
Mission accomplished?
Now you're an anti-magic field. Now I can just go in with you.
Ooh!
If every time an anti-magic field popped
So
up, a
you kinda
Warforged
keeps-
died, that'd be pretty fucked up.
That sounds like one of those.
It sounds
things-
like the perfect way to fight a Warforged army.
No,
Yeah,
it sounds
does.
it sounds like something that Tinker Gnome Wizard would tell her children. It's like every time anti-magic field pops up, a Warforged dies. It's just like
Sounds like a proverb. Is what
yeah,
it
it
is.
sounds like a proverb. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you
Oh
for
my
your
God.
advanced linguistics.
Let me see, because it doesn't give. It lasts for a minute,
All right.
so it lasts for a minute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
the effects of the curse from rolling on the thing is that the only way to remove it is to
Get a remove curse.
remove curse.
so
Or
anti-magic
wish.
field.
Or wish.
I'm assuming it's the same as the spell.
Mhm.
So a 10-foot radius invisible sphere of anti-magic surrounds you. The area is divorced from the magical energy that suffuses the multiverse. Within the sphere, spells can't be cast, summoned creatures disappear, even magic items become mundane until the spell ends. The sphere moves with you, centered on you. Spells and other magical effects, except those created by artifacts or deity, are suppressed in the sphere and can't protrude into it. A slot suspended, or a slot expended to cast a suppressed spell is consumed. While an effect is suppressed, it doesn't function, but the time it spends suppressed counts against its duration. Targeted effects, spells, and other magical effects such as magic missile, charm, person,
You monsters.
target a
I'm just
creature,
gonna spend
object,
the rest of this game
or
cursed.
object within the sphere. That spell has no effect.
Mhm.
Areas of magic, the area of another spell or magical effect such as fireball can't extend into the sphere. If the sphere overlaps an area of magic, the part of the area that is covered by the sphere is suppressed. For example, flames created by wall of fire are suppressed within the sphere, creating a gap in the wall that overlaps in that overlapping area. Any active spell or other magical effect on creature or object within the sphere is suppressed while the creature or object is in it. Magic items, the properties and powers of magic items are suppressed in the sphere. For example, a +1 longsword in the sphere functions as non-magical. Let's see. Magical travel, that's not necessarily relevant right now. A creature or object summoned or created by magic temporarily winks out of existence in the sphere. Dispel magic. Spells and magical effects such as dispel magic have no effect on the sphere. Likewise, the sphere is created by different anti-magic field spells. Don't nullify each other. So yeah, powerful.
Very.
Boom.
Lasts a minute.
We have
So you
access to
open-
every box.
I opened the box.
I can't identify it, and the sword doesn't work.
That's fine.
So you're just
I grabbed the sword. How big is the sword?
It's a long sword.
I look at what's this look like?
It looks like a beautifully crafted longsword. It's got a gold handle and hilt, and for the most part seems kind of mundane, but there's almost like a holy radiance to it.
I would like to look around the room. Is there a spot in this room that's 10 feet away from Locke?
Yeah,
Sure.
I walk over past it.
okay. It's magical.
I don't feel so good. This is a strange feeling.
Locke, what does this do?
Cuts things, I assume. I can't do anything to identify it right now. This is
Is really necessary. What about the whole enemy thing? You just got that.
Do you want the ones with the list of enemies?
Not for long. It's going to be us with the list of enemies and with powerful magic artifacts at their disposal.
you
Well, at
do
least
have a lot
whatever we
of
don't
weapons.
take.
Maybe something from one of the other boxes, or leave one of your weapons behind as like a trade.
That might be more reasonable.
I immediately grab the maul and put it in the case.
Well,
All right.
sure.
And then I grab some parchment. I scribble out in crude common.
Okay.
My name is Godric. I came in here with permission, with Scratch. What was his name again?
Manfred?
Lord Manfred?
Manfred let in. Sword was shiny. Trade. If want back, let me know. I put it on the hammer.
Okay.
And I shut it.
What happened to the liquid?
It's still just
Still
it's
there.
It hasn't gone anywhere or anything. So
Yeah,
you're
we
just
weren't
gonna
able to
hang
get
out
to-
for a minute until your wild magic surge ends? It only lasts a minute. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of
Run
time
around
it
the
takes you to talk
No.
to him and explain that like you
We-
have a problem, it's probably already almost done.
Yeah, we've been here a few hours. We aren't
Nah,
supposed
not
to.
even. You've been here what, 2 hours?
2 hours.
Right?
Yeah.
Before
a
it
few.
runs out. Anything
It's
else?
probably creeping on 3 hours with all the identifiers.
Anything else we want?
I don't know.
So
I
you're
think,
gonna
I think we've
identify the
taken
weapon
enough.
form?
Yeah, spend 10 minutes and you
No.
ritually cast the identify.
It's a fucking holy avenger.
That'd be neat.
It's an artifact.
Oh.
Ooh.
It's the paladin of Revadus Godfrey's Holy Avenger.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
no.
Oh, fuck, I can't use that.
That's after I identify it, I push it away, put it back in the box. We've done enough.
But why?
I won't. If you take it without getting explicit permission from the very powerful mage that was able to acquire it, we will make an enemy, undoubtedly.
It looks too.
I gave him the maul for nothing. I gave him the maul for nothing.
It's not a fair trade, it sounds like.
Although that particular weapon against demons and devils.
I think it looks too.
You literally see
Okay.
see Godric
For you.
point at it, swing a couple times, and give a thumbs up.
Yeah. That is sword created in the heavens for only the most powerful paladin. It's to call it unique is an understatement.
Wait, so you're saying that's some sort of holy relic for paladins?
That sword is worthy to be wielded by celestials.
I would like to roll a history check to see if I have ever heard
Does
of a
that
holy
mean
avenger.
anything to you?
To know if you've ever heard of a Holy Avenger or just what Holy Avengers are.
What? See if I've ever heard of weapons like what he's describing. I'll break it down to something that like makes sense to my character.
He told me I know what it is. It's a holy avenger.
Like to
Yeah.
roll a history check.
One made for what was the guy's name?
It wasn't made for him necessarily.
But it was
So
his.
It was his.
it was his. It was Godfrey was a paladin who is famous for having fought and died while stopping the dragon Fury, who was the avatar of Tiamat, from destroying Revadus.
Oh, is that all?
Yes.
So it's literally
So the story,
not just an artifact, but like
the story stands
part of this
that
whole
the
city's heritage.
walls to Conewall were breached by the chromatic dragons. That alone his faith and his shield and his sword, aside him his wife, held the breach against her attack relentlessly for a day and a night, until finally he gave way to her breath weapon attack, and he was incinerated along with her. He was a devout, hand-picked leader of Parathor, and but his death allowed the metallic dragons of Bahamut to arrive at the battle at the wall and defeat the dragons during the Dragon War, ending the conflict.
Do you tell me this story?
Yeah.
You see Godric for the first time in a long time become solemn as he looks at the blade and starts treating it differently than you saw before. He holds it and he walks over to the desk he kicked over. As much as I think it could help.
It would help.
Yes, but
I'm very confused and conflicted.
I do not deserve this. This is a weapon used to fight back dragons in the war.
Isn't that what you want to do? Isn't that the whole goal of your life?
It is. But for a man to oppose the dragons in such a way by himself, all alone, for his family, and to fight against those beasts and push them back.
The more I think about it, though, a relic of the city, deeply tied to its history and its survival, coming out to fight again.
It was wielded by Godfrey. Maybe it's time to be wielded by Godric. But I don't believe so. I don't believe I could do this sword justice. I do not deserve it. So I place it on his desk. Walk away from it. Very sadly.
So you know that he doesn't know that a weapon of that kind of purity and strength requires a willpower beyond that of what people would consider mortal men, and that it can only be attuned to by a paladin of Parathor, and attempting to do otherwise could result in catastrophic consequences for the person who attempts to control that divine power, as in probably immediate incineration as the blinding divine radiance shines from the blade and consumes their body.
Fair enough.
I'm still down to try.
He is a zealot.
I'm still down to try.
The wrong zealot.
I'm still down to try this.
Now,
it's for the best of
what it is doing in Matthias's workshop and why it's here when it should be in a holy resting place in Bravadis? Questions for another time.
Very much so.
These
This guy is
hints.
awesome.
I'm trying so hard not to go back and attune to that and die. Just saying, out of character. I want to go die to that thing.
All right.
And we can answer those questions next Friday.
Oh,
Fuck.
I know.
Matt's cursed.
Matt is cursed.
Worth it.
Super hard.
Worth it. All those extra spells on top of my spell list. Fuck. I'll be able to blast so much shit.
I'm just thinking, we leave here and the sword's still on his table. He comes in and immediately sees this holy relic fucking gone. Freaks his shit the fuck out. Checks the note.
Sitting out.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the one redeeming thing is that obviously they had access to it and they didn't take it. Maybe that'll be our one redeeming thing. You know, the Devil Book, that's a whole different story. But at least they didn't take
that
the
story. By the way, that story, fucking awesome.
Yeah,
He died with his wife
it's
next to
unassuming because the sword is extraordinarily plain, because he was an extraordinarily plain man before he became a paladin and swore his oaths to Parathor. So
Thank you
that
so much for
it's
spending
extraordinarily
the evening with us.
mundane, and there's nothing special about the weapon until you attune to it,
It's funny too.
and you can see it and recognize it for what it is.
The
Once you were like,
catalyst is
oh, you
your
see the
faith.
sword glowing and it's radiant because you saw that during the description. I was like, that's a holy avenger.
Well,
Mhm.
it was radiating even inside the anti-magic field, so that had to...
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking rad, and I'm so happy I got to touch it because I got to learn a badass story about it.
Anti-magic field says that artifacts and things made by gods aren't affected.
Made by gods.
That's true.
At the end of the day, even if I don't get to wield it, that was just dope to learn a story about a sword like that. That's freaking awesome.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Showed the
I'm
metallic
gonna-
dragons can
Look, I gotta tell you,
Dragon Wars.
Locke is extremely impressed with this guy. And
Believe me, this whole thing has been worked on and built on for a long time. That Holy Avenger was definitely meant to go to fucking Dylan.
I knew it.
It has been there the whole time. It was placed there the whole time for him, for his character to like attune to and work on. I originally had it as Tayla's weapon that she gave to him, but once Dylan left the show, I changed it and was just like, well, I'm just gonna leave it there because it'll be cool for them to see anyways, even if
The
they're not.
Holy Avenger.
I was like, there's no way the fucking players are gonna take it. It's well beyond. It would be well beyond an irredeeming quality for you guys to steal or lift something of that kind of magnitude and value from somebody.
Yeah. Well,
because it could. I mean, who knows why it's there? It could be a gift. It could be being borrowed or studied or something
on loan, kind of like some museums do. And
yes,
stuff.
exactly.
And what I was thinking when you were describing it, I'm like, oh yeah, devils would really like that taken off the playing field.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you could try to tune it, but you're probably gonna die." I'm like, I like to tempt
You
fate.
would have died.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I would have died. That was in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna die to it, but that's a fucking dope way to die.
Not really.
Not really.
I think it's fucking great. Unworthy.
I don't know. Is grabbing a power cable and electrocuting yourself a dope way to die? Because it's basically the same
It
thing.
depends. Am I watching?
It depends. It depends who's watching. Yeah. If the city is watching and I'm doing it for a stunt, yeah, hell yeah.
I definitely put it there for Dylan because it was meant to be a replacement for the sword that he had. Wrath, and then like to step up, and it would have been one of those things that he could have grown in power with, not being able to like wield effectively until it was gonna be like one of those things where like I was gonna set it up to where he would get it, path. And it would be a path of a bunch of different quests and things to basically awaken the sword's power, and it would grow with him in power as he would level. So by the time he hit 17th level, the sword would basically be fully awakened, assuming he went through and did the quests and everything. But it was like an option for him as a part of his paladin's oath and setting him on that path, and it would be tied to I had this whole... That's what I was saying. It was a real bummer when Dylan left the way he did, because I had legitimately spent a lot of time planning his story arc, and his character was intrinsically tied to the greater story of the game as a whole. So it like threw a whole shit out of whack for me, like a whole bunch of stuff. I had to start rewriting storylines, and I've been basically struggling to get back ever since to like refix everything, all the threads and everything. So it threw me off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why I probably took it a little bit more personally than just like going like, oh, okay. I spent a lot of time doing all this, writing it. You know?
That
was all sad. When
I gotta say, the story behind that sword was fucking rad.
Yeah,
I appreciate.
But no, he did not fight. No, Chrono Keys. He did not fight Tiamat directly. Tiamat and Bahamut are both bound by the Tablets of Providence in the same way. He fought an aspect of Tiamat and her avatar on the material plane. So he didn't fight Tiamat directly, but he fought a dragon
that was basically piloted by
Tiamat. So he did fight her, but he didn't, as Tiamat can't bring her full divine power to the material plane.
Yeah. So there's the tablets of Providence where basically you can't just come on the material plane and do whatever you want because you're a god.
Yeah.
There's limitations that everyone's kind of bound to as far as the Pantheon is concerned in the ways that they can interact with the material plane and everybody lives and stuff.
Welcome back, Jim.
In your domains.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was one that was cool. It's a cool story. Mm-hmm. So, and it's innately ingrained in the Holy Empire of Bravadus, and it's a big part of their
that's so fucking rad.
Their history. So,
especially because like that's so cool, and it felt awesome too. Because like it was fun, like thinking about it, like how Godric would, and thinking about it, like hearing a story like that. Hearing that this is the weapon of someone who has done what he wanted to do, I was like, I don't care whose fucking god this is for. He respects this person's weapon. He respects this person. He's putting this shit down.
JT Stark, thank you so much for the sub.
Oh, hey. Thank you so much, JT Stark. Welcome back to the Hall of Legends and being an amazing, awesome supporter. Let's get a shout out for JT Stark there in the chat. Thank you so much, man. Yes, we are actually wrapping up. We just hit the end of the episode until next Friday. It's good times.
He's raiding us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders, to Legendary Action Official, where we usually play Dungeons & Dragons 5e in my homebrew setting of Terrowyn. But we are actually just getting ready to wrap up, so I'm so sorry. But you missed some cool shit. One of the players got to pick up a Relic of the World, an ancient artifact wielded by one of the most powerful paladins of all time, when he fought an aspect of the evil dragon goddess Tiamat on the material plane to stave off the destruction of the empire that he served. So, it was a pretty epic piece of history moment where the players got to touch, but no takey, something really, really powerful.
No takey.
Yeah.
And I got to play with this little liquid that mimics me.
Yeah.
That was awesome for me.
I was so laughing when you said mimic saliva. Though. I
Is it a mimic
was like, man,
saliva?
why didn't I think of that? That's fucking clever.
What is it? I really want to know what it is.
That was my best
No,
guess.
that was the best
I
part.
have
Is
no
it was
idea.
just a random fucking guess that was like, I found it's pretty cool.
So what is the roar from Shrek, Frogman?
But not only that, but like then our wizard got his hand on a really, really fucking messed up tome from some ancient deity of death and destruction.
Yeah. So, and another part of that is there's some caveats that if he uses other forms of magic, the tome takes a toll.
Yep.
And so immediately after receiving the tome, he decided to use other sources of magic and proceeded to get himself a curse off a random number table, which basically says if he goes down to 0 hit points and he doesn't defeat a check to match the power of the enemy that just dropped him to 0, he's just instantly dead.
Yeah, dude, that list is basically all bad stuff, by the way. I mean, she was an evil deity, so it's kind of like, not evil in that perspective.
I'm going to be a little more sparing on my utility out there, I think.
It's so good.
It's mostly going to be exploded. Ah!
To be fair, though, most of the spells that come with the book aren't really that strong as offensive spells for you to justify, let's say, not casting Fireball,
That's fair.
per se.
Per se.
Lightning Bolt is on there, though, so that's kind of a help.
That's fair.
And Storm Sphere.
Which I had. But
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
now I can. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Worth it.
You got the one cool
I think
one.
it's one of those things where it's like, once the curses start stacking,
It's interesting.
because
Yeah,
they don't go away, they just stack. So it's like
Ooh.
once you get enough of them, and you start going like, wow, this is miserable, then you'll probably it's like how long do you think Locke would wait before he realizes this is a bad idea and tells his friends to help him?
Yeah.
Like, I need to get this
Because
thing away
I
from
don't
my...
know. It kind
I
of
mean,
depends
I've
on
been
his
very-
love for the book.
I've been very vague. Like,
Yeah.
it just seems like a cool book
Yeah.
to everybody.
Yeah, and it kind of depends on
For now.
his love for the book and if he'll even let
I
himself
don't know, maybe
do
there's
that.
maybe there's some like kind of really devastating slow shift towards a chaotic evil alignment the longer you're attuned to it.
I sure hope so, because that'd be great.
Dude, Ultron over here, bro.
Yeah. Ultron. Oh my god.
You just made Ultron. D&D Ultron.
By the way, I totally watched
Or-
it.
He's a warforged,
Or for
everyone.
some reason, Locke just starts getting a little religious for some obscure, probably dead death god.
If it's not Crom, I'm denting you.
And, eventually the curses go away because she's done a sort of shift. Who knows how it works?
Mhm.
So silly.
Maybe
so
the curses get lifted if you revive the dead god.
Of course.
Whoa,
That's very logical.
that's just obvious. Revive the horrible death god for your own gains.
It's funny. It's like
Oh.
you're a warlock,
Yeah.
but
Kinda.
you're better because you're a wizard.
So Andy.
Maybe it was a warlock's tome. Maybe that's why it's so messed up, because he's not
Packed to the
actually
tome.
packed with her.
Ooh.
It was an interesting night,
Could
JT
be
Stark.
That could explain why it's just there, not being used by the wizard.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah, that would explain it. And by the way,
Because I said, it looks like a spell book, but when you picked it up in the tune, I said, it's the tome.
yeah, that is true. You did say a tome. I'm like, oh, he's using his fancy words.
Yeah.
Sephi Syra, thank you for the comment
Gonna need
saying
a-
you love our setup. We
Is
appreciate
that a
it.
custom item from a book, or did you
Yeah.
make it up?
We worked really hard to get it to look as decent as it
Yes.
does.
Real.
Thank you
It's
for
not
the
a green
follow.
screen.
It's not a green screen.
This real wood.
No green screens here.
Yeah.
That's real
But
wood.
thank you so much for the kind words.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, and JT Star, thank you for exposing us to your audience and with all our other raiders.
Cover the
Yeah.
children's eyes.
Yeah, it does. We invite you to come along on this adventure. It doesn't cost anything to follow.
Yep.
You can join us on our Discord, chat about nerdy D&D stuff throughout the week.
And be on the lookout, because when we're here next Friday, it is the last Friday of the month.
Which
and we
means
will be-
giveaway.
Giveaways.
Yes.
Uh,
We're giving away models from Artisan Guild, awesome 3D printing and modeling. Patreon. They're amazing. Their models are super high detailed. They're very cool.
It's an Oni set.
Oni set. And then we're also giving away one copy of Sly Flourish's Fantastic Adventures, which is designed to get your players from level 1 to level 5. And it all hinges around this town in this space that's generic and open enough that you can fit it in wherever you want into your world. It's super cool.
To read it off the book, this book contains 10 ready-to-run scenarios that you can drop into your own campaign or any published fantasy campaign world. Each adventure contains maps, artwork, notable NPCs, a strong start, secrets and clues, and evocative locations. Each is also presented in a special format to make it as easy as possible to prepare and run your game. Whether you're running a single session adventure for a few friends or you want to drop a short adventure into the middle of your longer campaign, Sly Flourish's Fantastic Adventures has you covered.
Mm-hmm.
Boom! Boom. And it's like it writes itself.
And that's the bonus giveaway.
That's the bonus giveaway.
And Terran gave 5 subs.
And 5 subs from Terran again. What is going on? Why? Why are you doing this? I don't understand.
Terran.
Make sure to thank Terran for your gifted subs if you've received them. He's an amazing individual. Such a wonderful supporter of the community.
Obscurial got one.
Yeah,
Obscurial, there you go.
Good job. Say thank you.
And yes, with the giveaways too, whoever wins the giveaway and the bonus giveaway will be getting 25% off fudge from Fudge Loving Craves.
Yeah, definitely do yourself a favor. Take advantage of that discount.
Buy yourself some
fudge.
fudge. Yeah.
Buy yourself some fudge. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Summer's basically been canceled anyway, so don't worry about that summer body.
Yeah.
Right? Who doesn't need fudge?
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. It's so tasty.
fudge.
We had some earlier, and it's not out here right now, and I'm sad.
No, we ate
It's in
it.
the kitchen.
And I put mine back in the cupboard because it would have been on Alex's face again.
Yeah, dude, that stuff. Ooh, it was like brownies, but it wasn't brownie, but it was like batter, but it was like better than batter.
It's really good. By the
And
way,
peanut butter.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Absolutely
We appreciate that.
Hey,
I should move this mic over to this side. You're all over here.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
we
We
gave it
can do
enough
that.
slack that you could do that. It's supposed to be over there.
Yeah, there's...
Yeah, man. What are you doing, man?
The tables are
Poor
set up
Mikey
for
again.
optimum
Poor
personnel
Mikey.
occupation of
Don't
6
worry, Alex is
people.
doing the same thing.
What?
He
Talking
Mike's
to the
on the
mic?
wrong side of him.
Nope, it's right where it goes.
Nope.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah,
Find that
exactly.
Mouth
There's supposed to
roll.
be someone here. I don't know.
You're in
Whatever.
the corner.
You're in the corner.
It's a
I
new
am
spot.
in
I'm
the
sorry.
Listen,
Get your own
it's
corner.
okay. You'd be all right, and I promise. So, thank you all so much for being here and spending time with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the party getting their new magic items and going through this whole bit of interesting digging through a wizard's workshop. Because they've seen what other wizards have to offer in
This
in the
guy's
tower
on
and stuff.
another level.
But yeah, this is like a major city state. So this dude has all the money in the world, and he gets paid big bucks to do what he does. So
It's like that one guy.
By the way, so I did pick someone to raid.
who'd you pick?
An old friend of ours. One that I feel like the chat would love to see because you know what happens if you follow this man? He flips.
I flip for follows is getting
Does it still
rated.
do that?
He does.
So
He got raided
Challenge
the other
accepted.
I want to see how many flips he gets.
thank you so much for the sub. Welcome to the Hall of Legends. We appreciate it. Make sure you join our Discord. Keep up to date with everything that's Legendary Action, and inscribe your name in the Tome of Legends and tell us all about the fucking amazing adventures that you have on a regular basis. Because we're glad to meet you. Can't wait to be your friend and get to know you better. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is an awesome community. A lot of people use it like buzzword, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, we actually have a really great group of people here.
Yep.
So you're welcome to
Either way.
join us and come along on the
Make sure to hang out for the raid. Make sure to give them about 5 minutes of your time. That's all we ask to continue to push the concept of Twitch and being healthy and friendly in our communities. Give them a chance to win you over, show you some content that you enjoy, and plus you want to get those extra channel points to spend in our action point store to spend against or for the players with things like spell effects, extra spell slots, potions, and curses to make their lives miserable. So that all being said, we hope that your week is as legendary as our Friday night was, and we hope to see you later. So next Friday,
Giveaway.
good night. Giveaways.
Giveaways.
Free stuff!